want to know that she had successfully committed suicide.
What are some of the conditions in the jail that got people upset, like the living conditions on a day-to-day basis?
We'll come out our cell at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll get food and we'll get medication. So that shortens the time. Out of those 2 hours, we'll probably get an hour out, and then we'll have to lock back down. And by lock back down, I mean we stay in our cell. We get fed in our cells. We don't come out our cell at all, and that's pretty much the biggest problem. And they simply say that they're short-staffed, but that's not enough because they knew that they were going to be short-staffed. Like, this has been a problem for over 2 years now.
The marathon continues.
There's never been a better time to make change in the city of Milwaukee, starting with the youth. And we talked about the housing. Willie Hines, y'all boy Willie Hines, and they trying to change the leadership over there. We got our hands full, and it's not the time. But we got attorney B. Ivy Lamar on the lines right now, calling from the courthouse. How you doing, attorney B. Ivy Lamar?
Hey, what's going on, Tory? I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Joining me on the line, Dr. Umar Johnson. How you doing, brother, Dr. Umar Johnson?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, good brother, Black Power, to all my brothers and sisters in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Green Bay, Racine, and across the state of Wisconsin.
Yo, peace, King. I'm going to stand with you and walk with you, brother.
God bless you.
Because I think it's an important thing, what you're doing, and you need to have the support of the community. Regardless if we live in these areas or not, it all affects us in one way or shape or form.
It's time for that action and all the smoke. This is the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association award-winning Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Yam, pam, jam.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, wow.
Man, best show in the world, bro. You got the best show in the world. Hope you know that, man.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate that.
Speak up to you both. Thank you so much. Tory, you spoke to my kids. Liz, you did too. But you spoke to my kids, and when I tell you both that they was talking about what we did earlier that morning all day, that's literally what they was doing. They was talking about it all day. My son was just hollering, where's Tory? Like,
tell Tony, all aboard. It's okay to jump on the love train.
I'm not jumping on the love train.
We might got a couple seats left.
Listen, he ain't going to be, Jordan Love will not be the starter in 5 years.
Trash. That's a trash.
That's just my take.
Now you're trying to string it out.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Well, I'll need some apologies from the staff of 101.7.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. I think the line's messing up. Hey, Eddie. Oh, I guess something happened with Eddie.
Hush up, boy.
And they have an agenda. And the agenda is a satanic one. I don't know why people don't talk about it. You can't talk.
Yo, they just empty.
I want to make sure that I let you know that to hear a person and have a person like you in this community, the way that you are selfless, the way that you give, even when your cup is not even full, you are filling other people's cups. And that just inspires me to make sure that I help you the best way that I can by doing my part.
As always, my good brother, stay cool, stay calm.
Now, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is the king of talk radio, Tory Lowe.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready. 101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. And I'm here for the action.
And I'm but that action.
And I want all the smoke.
Who wants the smoke today?
Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines. The marathon continues.
The movement continues.
How you doing, DJ Brother Z?
It's hump day.
And how y'all doing out there in Radio Land? Truth Nation. Thank you for joining us this March 26, 2025. We got another powerful show for you today. So I'm going to need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Hey, joining me in the studio is Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith. How you doing, Tony Smith?
What's happening? I'm good.
Hey, it's a lot going on. We gotta cover a lot.
It is.
But
what's going on?
And I made myself a promise that every show this month that I would start out with a little self-care talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and before we get into the action.
Okay.
Because we got a lot of smoke to bring and a lot of action.
All right.
But I do want to make sure that I keep up with, because March is almost over.
Okay.
And I've been including all of these different self-care ideas. Yesterday we talked about growth and development,
Okay.
Continuously adding to yourself, continuously developing. You know what I mean? You had that talk yesterday. But today I want to talk about, and this is a word that I've said many times, but I think we have to break this down because a lot of people, when we talk about it, they have to really understand what it truly is and how it applies to their life. Well, I want to talk about emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And I think that many times people will say, okay, you need to develop emotional intelligence. Well, emotional intelligence refers to the ability to recognize and understand emotions in yourself and others, and to use this awareness to guide you through your behaviors. It involves being able to manage your own emotions and respond to the emotions of others in a way that is supportive and constructive.
Yeah, sounds about right. Reading the room.
Right. You know what I mean? Being able to adjust and not be lashing out or not let your first thought control how you respond.
Right.
Because sometimes the first thought be like, get him. You know what I mean?
Jump on defense.
Hey, I'm trying to, sometimes that's,
you're under attack. You jump on defense.
I get a short trigger. Some people got triggers.
A lot of people got short triggers.
Hey.
A lot of them.
But you want to practice emotional intelligence. And, and I'll tell people this, self-awareness is a part of emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions and how they impact your behavior. Sometimes people realize that they may have shouldn't have acted that way after in the aftermath.
Is that still emotional intelligence?
No, it's got some reflection though. It's some self-reflection.
It's part of the definition, though, right?
But it's late. It's late.
You just missed in the first part.
Yeah,
missed in the first part, which is control.
Right.
You're not controlling your emotions.
But you played in the NBA. How much self-control, emotional intelligence, and awareness that you have to go through the different levels? Because a lot of people didn't make it to the NBA that had the skill.
Yeah.
So many times some of the best players may not make it to the league.
Correct.
Due to emotional intelligence
always,
or, they make wrong decisions and they
a lot of different reasons.
Go off the track.
A lot of different reasons. I was just watching something today about this kid Corbello who played at Illinois, then he played at St. John's, then he played on the national team, and I think he wound up playing somewhere else, but he was all over the place. A lot of it had to do with what you're talking about, which is this guy, he couldn't control his emotions. He was like getting technicals all the time, getting in altercations. So that's why he kept moving. Every year he was somewhere different. I remember we played him at Marquette. He was at Illinois, and he was a freshman, touted to be he looked like a really good freshman, good player.
Right.
Next thing you know, he's somewhere else. Then he shows up at St. John's. Technical. This dude, in the first minute of his first game at St. John's, he got a technical. First minute of the first game, he's getting a technical.
Wow.
So that's a case where you're talking about his lack of emotional intelligence really got himself out of a situation where he maybe would have had a shot. Like if he just controls that, doesn't get in trouble, continues to play at Illinois, he probably gets a shot at the league.
And what I'm saying is a lot of people fall short in this area.
A lot of people. Look at
we call it
Draymond Green. He's always getting teased.
We call it bonehead. Like they did a bone. We got a name for it.
Knucklehead.
You know, like especially when it's on a high level and in critical situations, a person doesn't have the intelligence to maneuver through this situation. So we said he made a bonehead mistake.
Right. I'll tell you what though, like some people get criticized for it. I mean, I've been criticized before by not showing enough emotion. So instead of letting something make me reactionary immediately, I'm going to process it, calm myself down, and then respond or then deliver whatever I have to deliver.
So you kept the same face the whole time.
Well, I'm just keeping it cool. Like if you say something, I'm not going to immediately react to it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to, okay. First of all, I'm going to try to hear what you said. I'm going to listen to it, process it. Okay. See how I feel about it. And then come out with a response.
I remember when I was listening to Tupac, and he always said every move was a calculated step. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like everything he did was calculated. You know what I mean? That's what he was trying to say. And I think that it to a certain degree, you have to have that. You have to add that. You know, as I'm talking about, especially if you're moving in the public and you're moving in spaces where your emotions don't win.
Right. If you're in the public eye, you gotta really be careful what you do. We saw what happened to like Chris Brown. He let them emotions get out of control in the car with Rihanna. So, you know, it's just a lot of cases where if you're high profile, it's going to be a problem for you. It just is. You better have control of your emotions. You better have some emotional intelligence to read the situation, and not only yourself but other people. Like, because you can have some people around, you don't know what's going on with these people. You better be aware and try to figure out like what's happening right here.
And I'll tell you this, it helps in choosing friends as well. Like, is this where I want to go? I always tell people, if you want to know where you're going to end up, get a sheet of paper and write down your top 5 friends that you talk to the most.
Yep.
And then you can almost predict where you're going to end up.
Right.
If they successful,
you got a good shot.
Yeah. If they
knuckleheads,
doing things that they ain't supposed to do,
you got 3 knuckleheads in the crew.
Not practicing growth and development, not having the emotional intelligence, you can see where you're going to end up. Maurice M in the chat says, I agree with Tony. Always avoid acting based on emotions and always think first. And this is where we got to talk to the youth, because I think that we don't have enough of these conversations when they're young. And we assume that somebody's there giving them these gems. And this is why I'm talking about it on the air, so we can bring it up in our families and really have these discussions, because I see a lot of kids acting out, not being able to control themselves, and I'll say this, it's because they're not being told, they're having the conversation of how to manage their feelings and emotions.
Also, they're not being shown.
Not being shown either.
That's the thing. So, kids are young. They don't make some of the smartest decisions all the time. How are you going to react? Do you just fly off the handle?
Right.
Go crazy? Or do you listen?
They may do what they see the other grown-ups around them
they're
do.
Gonna. I mean, they hear you talking about something, but they're going to watch what you do. If you're flying off the handle every 5 minutes, whatever you said about
you sending them off to school.
Well, I mean, you just send mixed signals. Like, you're telling them one thing, be in control, and make sure you think before you react, but they're not thinking before they react.
Well, I'll tell you this, and because we're coming to the end of this month, and I'm telling you, I definitely doubled down on the self-care. I definitely had to really double down. This month I went without no sugar.
Oh, really?
Yep, and it was tough. No sugar,
month?
no starch.
Oh, wow.
Stuff like that. I mean, I went through this whole month. I'm at the end. I ain't out of it yet. I might hit the 3rd Street Market Hall.
Are you going back? Getting back in it?
I guess I'll see what else I can. I guess I'm gonna practice growth and development and see what else I can do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes when I try to go on diets, I always run back to the sugar. Like, my favorite is chocolate chip cookie. So I always fall back into it because I'll try to say, okay, I can handle a little bit of this, but then it ends up going over the cliff.
Ideally, the theory is, I remember I had a bad sweet tooth years and years ago, and you just got to stay off of. You don't have to do it for the whole month, but I mean, you're going to be fine. But you really need to do it for, I think like 10 days, 2 weeks.
Well, I'm beyond that.
Right, you're beyond that.
I'm trying to hit the finish line.
My sweet tooth was gone after that. I did it for like 2 weeks. Sweet tooth was gone. I wasn't craving sweets anymore. It just has to do with the flora in your stomach.
Right.
So sending signals to your brain. So if you're feeding it sugar all the time, it's going to want sugar because that's the kind of stuff that you're growing in there. When you grow healthier, better bacteria, that's what it's going to signal to your brain. Like, okay, we need some vegetables. We need some good healthy stuff. So,
well, I'll say this: we got to practice these things every day. I try to get on the show and talk about some self-care. Today we talked about emotional intelligence. Hopefully you can add it to your life. When we come back, we got a situation with a local alderman that spoke out against the litter in the community. We're going to read some of the statements. Right. We're going to talk about it when we get back. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
And that's Tory Lowe, bringing you all the action and all the smoke. Milwaukee Brewers baseball is back.
It is gone!
And you can hear our beloved Brewers home opener right here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Second homer of the night from Jackson Churio.
On Monday, March 31st, hear the Brewers take on the Kansas City Royals with coverage beginning at 12:35 p.m., leading up to first pitch at 1:10 p.m. So don't miss the Brewers home opener Monday, March 31st, right here on 101.7 The Truth.
Every accomplishment starts somewhere. For University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee student Nick Berschbach, it was internships that led to a job at GE Healthcare. For Charles Kelly, it started with an internship at a TV station. Now, he's a weekend anchor. And for Jaden Anderson, her leadership led to recognition from the American Institute of Architecture students. The path to success goes many places. It starts at UWM.
President Trump and Elon Musk are forcing radical changes in Washington, from stopping payments for health care and threatening to restrict abortion rights to accessing Americans' private information. With Washington out of control, who we elect to the Wisconsin Supreme Court could be the last line of defense of our rights. The ACLU Voter Education Fund does not endorse or oppose candidates, but wants you to cast an informed vote in the Wisconsin Supreme Court election. So where did the candidates land on issues like abortion? Brad Schimmel stated he supports banning abortion. Susan Crawford successfully protected abortion rights while representing Planned Parenthood in Wisconsin. We need a Wisconsin Supreme Court that can be a check and balance to protect us when our rights are threatened at the federal level. On April 1st, Wisconsin voters will make a critical decision about the future of abortion in our state. To learn more about the Wisconsin Supreme Court candidates, visit aclu.org/WI2025. Paid for by ACLU Voter Education Fund, 212-549-2500. Not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
ACLU Voter Education Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Truck crash? Call Gruber offices. One call, that's all.
It's the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, yo, big bro, you with that? Okay, cool. Good job, that's my brother right there. You dig? Dexter. Oh, wait. Pick it up, groove. Baby girl, watch how you move. I got them vests on my
101.7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. Market Hall of Famer Tony Smith in studio. Look, we got to talk about this situation. Y'all know we got the cleanup coming up April 12th. If y'all want to sign up, go to the Truth Community Cleanup and register. But we have an alderman that's catching a lot of flack about some comments he made about the litter that's in the community. And I can see the frustration. Nobody wants litter. Nobody wants trash all over the community. But as an elected official, many times we got to be careful with the words we use and how we put that out there
all the time
to the public. And this situation is something that is making people raise an eyebrow. He made these statements, and I'm gonna get asked about it because I do cleanups.
Right.
I started out cleaning up.
Yep.
And what stuck out was he was talking about what he sees on the ground, where he says he sees the wigs often mistaken as roadkill, the empty Black and Mild packaging, the empty fast food bags, Milwaukee's best beer cans, empty Hennessy bottles, chip bags, and everything in between. I've seen dirty diapers being thrown from the windows of moving vehicles. It's a shame and embarrassing. I'll say this because some of the things he named, they are on the ground.
Right. Yeah.
But as an alderman and your constituents and the people you are to serve and people that look like you, when you single them out, when you talk a certain language, it gives that you don't have a connection to your constituents. Like you don't understand how to manage and lead by example, to me.
Emotional intelligence, what we're just talking about.
It shows
read the room
a little lack of emotional intelligence by the fact that he is an alderman. And I'll tell you this, when I heard this, I seen this, I read this, I understood the frustration.
Right.
But I didn't understand what came out of his mouth to address it. And then he goes on to say he would there is a fine, $500 for littering. And I'm not for taxing the poor. We just had a tax increase.
Right.
We just had property tax increase. And just to throw out the idea that $500 is the resolution or could be a way to resolve this, which is going to be done in our communities on the north side in black communities. Mm-hmm. And so you're taxing people with monies that they may not even already have. Right. So to me, it's a teachable moment for both the aldermen and for us as a community, because we do want to clean up. We do want a healthier environment. But you can't be out of touch and say you serve a certain community. Yeah. And this is glaring.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to point out what's being thrown out. The bottom line is there's a lot of litter on the ground.
Facts.
Let's figure out how to deter people from doing that. And like you said, what's the good of fining someone $500? I ain't got $500. You're not going to collect it. I mean, I don't even understand the use of that. It's similar to the giving a bail and they can't pay it anyway. I mean, what does it matter? Like, what are you doing to the poor? Like, it's not a solution.
Right. That's not a solution. Maybe he should join the cleanup, the Tory Lowe Community Cleanup, and be an example of how to get it done. Like, I could go up to somebody and say, hey, don't throw that on the ground because I clean up. I can tell them that because they know I clean up, so I'm more effective that way. Mm-hmm. But if I'm preaching from a distance, they don't have to listen to me, and that shows that there's not a communication or a connection with how he feels with the constituents he's trying to reach.
Right. He easily say, like, what do you care? You don't live here, and you don't clean up. What do you care?
And a lot of people just, when it comes to the black community, and I'll tell you this, a lot of y'all, every time we talk about things that are serious in our community, y'all always want to talk down to the black community. But y'all go sniggle and giggle in other communities. You know what I mean? And it's a group out here that's just not going to take it. It's a way to set an example, to show, lead by example, mm-hmm. and let your example of you being the example that you want to see take over. And many times, a lot of folks ain't going to do nothing, so they got a lot of hot breath, a lot of hot air, but they don't have a lot of action. And to me, this is a situation where he could have actually said, okay, you know what? I see litter on the ground. I'm going to throw a press conference. I'm going to have a community cleanup, and I'm going to give out the right message. Hey, look, everybody, even if you don't make it to the cleanup, we're going to urge you to clean your own neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's an alderman. He would have got all 4 cameras. He would have covered a lot of ground on that. That would have been the right message, and he don't have to be backtracking and acting out of emotion instead of using the emotional intelligence. And that's what we started the show we were talking about today.
Yeah, but everybody doesn't have it. He would probably agree, but again, it's like you're not exercising the emotional intelligence. Now you're trying to talk about it after the fact.
But he's an alderman.
Which is even worse. Like, if you're in that position, you got that many ears and eyes on you, that should be part of the job. I mean, you should have some kind of some training in emotional intelligence and being able to, I mean, we see a lot of it in politics. People say stuff emotionally, and all of a sudden now it's a big deal, and now they got to walk it back, and they got to, try to justify what they said. I mean, he just don't say it. He
called into Kyle's show, Kyle Truth to Power, I guess. Okay. I don't know if we got any audio from it. Maybe I
can play it after break.
Yeah, he apologized. I guess he called into the show, to Kyle Wallace show, and he was saying, "Hey, look, he made him. I don't know what he said. I guess we got the audio." Right. But like I said, as an alderman, you got to make sure that you understand who you're speaking to and how to address it.
Hey, like you said, emotional intelligence. It's a thing.
Well, look, I appreciate you,
Everybody
T. Smith.
Ain't got it.
Hey, today we're going to skip the Pop Culture Report. We got breaking news. We got attorney B. Ivory Lamar in studio. He was down at the federal building. Him and his client is in the studio. We got breaking news. We're going to get to it when we get back. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
On April 1st, we have a choice to make. Donald Trump wants us to elect Brad Schimmel to the Supreme Court. Elon Musk's even spending millions to elect him because they know Schimmel will do whatever they want, even if that means letting them cut health care and food for hungry kids or eliminate the Department of Education. That's why we need to vote for Judge Susan Crawford.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I've made sure rapists, murderers, and child predators were behind bars where they belong. And I trust women to make their own healthcare decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will. And that's why I'm asking for your vote.
That's Judge Susan Crawford, protecting our rights, our families, and our community. So on April 1st, help keep Trump and Musk in check. Go to the polls and vote for Judge Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Make the right choice. Vote Susan Crawford on April 1st. Paid for by Susan Crawford for Wisconsin.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We talk a lot about the unprecedented quality and service you get from Pella, but talking to the people who work there, you can tell how much they genuinely love what they do. Helping fulfill people's dreams is very rewarding to them, and it shows through their tremendous efforts. Pella consultants take the time to listen to each customer, finding the right solution that works for their home. They know that everyone's situation is different. Maybe you have a historic home you're renovating, or it's a new build with unique finishes. Pella designers can customize windows and doors to perfectly match any one-of-a-kind abode. They're with you from start till finish. It's like having a friend on call throughout the project and beyond. They don't disappear after the sale. So why wait? Get the Pella experience in this incredible deal. 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Certain restrictions apply. Ends March 31st, 2025. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cass Bowers, Executive Director of All in Wisconsin. Did you know that there's an election coming up on April 1st? I encourage you to get out and vote. For democracy to work for all of us, it must include all of us. Vote to protect our rights and freedoms. I also urge you to vote no on the voter ID amendment on the ballot. Safe elections mean that no one is left out of the process, and we don't need more barriers to voting. Make your voices heard. Visit allinwi.org for more information.
Make history at the amazing 10th annual UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball on March 29th. Join Mayor Cavalier Johnson for an unforgettable evening that will transform lives. Every dollar raised helps promising local students achieve their college dreams through vital scholarships. This premier gala doesn't just celebrate our community, it builds future leaders. Be a part of Milwaukee's most meaningful social event of the year. Reserve your place now at uncf.org/MMB. That is uncf.org/MMB.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Bucks will wrap up their 5-game West Coast road trip tonight in Denver as they get set to take on the Nuggets. Bucks guard Damian Lillard has officially been ruled out indefinitely after the health team discovered a deep vein thrombosis in his right calf. Tip-off tonight is scheduled for 8 p.m. Over to baseball, where spring training is all wrapped up for the Milwaukee Brewers. The next focus, the regular season, as they are in New York as they prepare to take on the Yankees in tomorrow's season opener. And lastly, some NFL news. The New York Giants and quarterback Russell Wilson have agreed on a one-year, $21 million deal, and the New England Patriots also agreeing with wide receiver Stephon Diggs to a 3-year, $69 million deal as well. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app at 1017thetruth.com.
Double up, 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time humble us. Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I ain't telling no lies, I just
101.7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. Look, we got breaking news. We got attorney B. Ivy Lamar in studio, fresh from a press conference to announce filing of a lawsuit against Racine Police Department following inhumane transport of hospitalized detainee. How you doing, B. Ivy Lamar?
Man, I'm good. Sorry, man. I'm happy to be here.
Hey, once again, another situation where the police is being challenged on their behavior. Mm-hmm. What's going on?
Well, Tory, this one is different. This is one of the most inhumane cases that I've represented. It brings us back to last year, July 14th to be exact. It's kind of hard to imagine now because it's still cold here, but it's a hot day. It's scorching. It's over 90 degrees, and Mr. Locke was in the custody of the Racine County Police, the Racine Police Department, while he was being hospitalized at Frederick Hospital.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he ultimately, he suffered an accident. He was in an accident. He suffered very severe injuries, lacerations, broken bones, organ damage. I mean, the list goes on. So he was in a very fragile state at that very moment. He's now got to a point where the doctors determined that, hey, he's cleared to go to the actual jail. They discharged him. We have video at this very moment. You see Adam, hey, you got to go to jail. You got to go. He's right. Very mannerable. He's respectful. They're putting him into the paddy wagon. He's scooting himself into the paddy wagon.
Right.
One of the first things that I noticed when watching the video is that they did not order a private ambulance. Generally, if somebody is still under medical care, they should be transported via private ambulance. That didn't happen. Instead, they had him scoot onto the floor of the paddy wagon. Now, that's not the most alarming thing here. The biggest issue here is that it was an unsafe vehicle with no ventilation and no working AC. Now, again, this is a 90-plus degree day, and he's in a very small compartment inside this paddy wagon, which is also depicted on the video. And he informs the officer right away. He says, hey, it's hot in here. It's very hot. She said, okay, I'll turn the AC on, as soon as we get going. She didn't do that, and as a result of that, he suffered in these conditions for not a minute or 2 minutes, long periods of time. He's banging on the door saying, I can't breathe. He doesn't tell them this once or twice. He literally says it throughout the video, probably about at least 8-9 times. I can't breathe, and he starts peeling off parts of his clothing. Now, at this time, he only had a nightgown on. He's still in a medical gown that they provided, and he's now kind of peeling that apart. As you can see how hot he is. You can see him sweating.
Right.
At some point.
It's video.
It's video of this. And at some point.
Zach, I'll send you the file over in your email if we can get that up.
Yeah. So at some point, he pleads for help. He tells her, I can't breathe. She finally stops the vehicle on a highway. And after stopping on the highway, ultimately, he tells her, I can't breathe. He articulates that. She understands it. And she decides to keep going. She closes the door back up, knowing that there's no ventilation. At this point, there's no dispute whatsoever that the AC is not working. And she decides, I'm going to keep him going on in this vehicle. She doesn't call for medical. She doesn't do any of these things. So now this is round 2 of this transport. And they determined that let's get into a private area because at this point, we don't want the public to see this. They even talk about a lawsuit on the video. So they know, and they had they understood that what they were doing was likely to result in claims being made based off of their conduct. But even withstanding that, they continued on, and they bring him to an apartment complex in West Dallas on the side of the road, and they left him on the side of the road for almost 3 hours on the back of a paddy wagon, still complaining that, he's dehydrated at this point. He has heat exhaustion. He also tells them he's having problems breathing. He has chest pain. All of these things.
But there's a law that says you have to, if somebody asks for medical help, they have to
absolutely
act on that.
Absolutely. If you take the control of a person and you're in their custody and that person has obviously a serious medical condition. It was very known that he had all these issues. Right. You brought him to the paddy wagon. He didn't walk there. You wheeled him out in a wheelchair there. You know that he has these issues. And despite that, they essentially, we believe, were indifferent to his medical needs and allowed him to suffer. The video is shocking. I mean, my office, we probably get about 40, 50, 60 calls a week on civil rights cases, and unfortunately, we're not able to take them all. But Mr. Locke, when he told me that everything was on video, I sat there and watched it. 3 hours worth. I couldn't believe it. Sometimes people exaggerate things, and that's what I thought. It shocked the conscience when I watched this video. I'm literally seeing medical personnel finally get there, and they're saying, we need to take him to the hospital. The Racine County Police Department says, no, what we need is for him to go to the jail. That's what we need. So they're, essentially exerting their authority over the medical personnel who wanted to take him to the hospital. So this is a case that can't be ignored. This is a case that shocks the conscience.
Well, if y'all watching as we broadcast live on YouTube and social media, we have the video of what took place with Adam Locke. He's, and I must warn you, this is, aggressive, very aggressive. But if you want to see it as we broadcast live, it's on YouTube. Why do you feel that they mistreated him and ignored his rights, B. Ivy Lamar?
Well, first of all,
from looking at the video,
there are biases that exist in people generally. And it also is no exception to the police department and those officers. These officers simply thought, he was being hospitalized. You got nurses coming in. Oh, he just doesn't want to go to jail. That's what these young officers assumed. And that is the reality of why I think they were just indifferent. But, again, I could speculate all day. But what we do know, and again, this is not he said, she said. Men lie, women lie. Video does not. And we have 3 hours worth. And I just couldn't believe what I saw. I could not believe what their reactions and their responses were. But what we believe, and when we filed this civil rights lawsuit this morning, we believe this was a deliberate indifference to a serious medical need. We believe that Monell liability exists, that there is problems in the training, the protocols, in transporting individuals. We also believe that they were negligent. I mean, we believe this is outrageous behavior.
Why do we have to address, because many times a lot of people say, okay, another civil lawsuit. No. Why do we have to make sure that we have checks and balances when it comes to being in police custody? This is just a huge thing that goes on all the time. A lot of people feel that they've been mishandled, but then you got a situation where Mr. Locke is at one point with no clothes on.
Right.
And they have him out there sitting there, not paying attention or not listening to his call or his needs. He's in the wagon, sweating, asking for help. Why did they let it go so long? And why is it important that we address these situations when it comes to inhumane treatment?
Well, I think that what we typically see and what I often see in civil rights cases is we normally see excessive force. We normally see a police shooting that we believe is unjustified. We normally see an assault of some sort, kicking, punching, whatever. This case is different. It still is under the guise of civil rights. It still is a constitutional right to have medical treatment and so forth. So this one is different. You see Mr. Locke suffering. I've never seen, you see a grown man crying for help. You know, at some point you see in the video, he lose consciousness in the video. So, yeah, this is not like a George Floyd situation where you got his feet on his, his foot on his neck, where you were depriving him of oxygen in that way.
Right.
But you're still, through your indifference, denying him of medical treatment, which could have cost him his life. We can't let that go unchecked.
And we've seen incidents before in the past.
Absolutely.
Where people have screamed for help for medical, and then they were ignored, and then they passed away on the scene. Thank God he's alive right now.
Absolutely. And that's why we're here. And that's what this lawsuit is so important for. It's still cold outside now, but as we're going into spring and soon we'll be in a summer with scorching temperatures, I think it's important that we now show that this case is important because we got to address biases that exist in the police departments. You can't have another Adam Locke because he might not make it. Thankfully, Mr. Locke was finally, after 3 hours, able to get into medical attention. Even though he had to stay hospitalized for 5 days, they were able to revive him and get him to the place he's at today, which he's still not out the woods now. He still has psych therapy that he goes through. He's still on psych meds. He still has all these aggravations to his existing issues. Even the pending court case, the judge determined that his medical condition was as such that it would not be proper for him to be under the custody of the Racine County Jail based off his existing medical condition today.
So they had the history.
Absolutely.
So they ignored the history.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's the snapshot.
Wow.
Tory, I gotta run. I got a court appearance I gotta make here in a second.
Okay.
But I again thank you for covering this. Adam Locke is here. The family is here to complete this conversation. It's very important. And as always, I'm here. If you need me, this is a case that is very important for justice, for the movement, for the culture. And, hey, it just shows that we got more work to do.
Well, look, I appreciate you for coming through with this breaking news press conference today. Civil rights lawsuit against Racine police. Adam Locke is here with his family. When we come back, we'll have a conversation with Mr. Locke, Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Milwaukee Black Talk.
And Joe Biden wasn't very controversial. He wasn't. Now, he might have done some things in his long, storied past, but if you all have been in the same line of work for 46 years, you probably have done some questionable things too. Joe Biden was a safe choice. He was a level of common sense. He was a level of stability. He was a familiar political commodity. Democrats don't have that right now. Democrats are caught with their pants completely down.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump are out of control, slashing healthcare and food for hungry kids, eliminating the Department of Education. Now, Musk and Trump are trying to buy a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, spending millions to elect extremist Brad Schimmel. And if elected, Schimmel wants to criminalize abortion, even in cases of rape and incest. Brad Schimmel, an extreme rubber stamp for Musk and Trump, and wrong for Wisconsin. We need justices who are fair, who know right from wrong. Judge Susan Crawford has spent her life standing up for Wisconsin and keeping us safe. She'll always protect our right to choose, and Crawford will be the check and balance we need against Elon Musk and Donald Trump. On April 1st, vote Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Go to www.iwillvote.com to find out where and how to cast your vote by April 1st. Paid for by Power to the Polls Action Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Truth Nation, gear up for a great time as Sports Milwaukee hosts Milwaukee Tailgate Week, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Set for April 24th to the 26th, Milwaukee Tailgate Week features a variety of gridiron activations for all ages, steeped in Milwaukee's iconic sports history, attractions, brews, restaurants, and venues. As the 2025 draft takes center stage in Green Bay, Sports Milwaukee and the Cream City are excited to welcome the football world back to Wisconsin. For tickets, go to visitmilwaukee.org/tailgate. Brought to you by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. We got breaking news. Lawsuit filed against Racine Police Department following inhumane transport of hospitalized detainee. We got Adam Locke in studio. Lawsuit filed today, press conference today. If y'all watching as we broadcast live, we got the video. We got the video of what took place. If y'all want to watch, I must warn you, it's tough. It's tough to watch, but this is what happened. It's all on video. It's all there.
It's all there.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling okay. Just, hanging in there, trying to stay strong,
The lawsuit says that that the officers knowingly subjected you to pain and hurt. And when you say you was in the back and you was sweating, how hot did it get? What was going on when they put you in the back of the vehicle?
When they placed me in the back of the paddy wagon, it was one of the hottest days of the summer. And the paddy wagon was out there for a few hours before they even placed me, into that. So the temperature had rose. As soon as they placed me on the floor of the paddy wagon, I instantly, questioned the heat. Was it air conditioned? It's so hot back here. Can you turn the air on or something? And she was like, as soon as we get going, I could turn the air on. But that never happened.
Was it even air?
The air condition didn't work in the unit.
How hot do you think it got back there?
Over 100 degrees, maybe about 120 something degrees.
Oh wow. And when you reach to knock on the walls to say, "Hey, look, I need help," what was the reaction?
Well, I'm trying to get the air condition going, and she kept going. So at some point, I lost consciousness back there in the back of the paddy wagon, and when I came to, I continued to beat on the back of the paddy wagon, screaming and telling her that I couldn't breathe and I wasn't going to make it. I really thought that if I would have kept on into that ride, maybe 5 more minutes or so, I probably would have passed away.
Now, you on this video, you don't have no clothes on.
Oh, yeah. It was times out there where I was completely nude.
Oh, wow. And they didn't hurry up and had no sense of urgency. How long were you out there total? Without any medical attention?
About 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah, about 3 hours. The West Dallas Fire Department had came, paramedics, and the police was out there, and they was telling them, like, they wanted to give me fentanyl because my medical conditions, because my medical condition was so bad and was deteriorating, but the police wouldn't let them give me any medical attention. They was like, we want to get him to the jail.
Hold on, you got a history.
Yeah.
And they can see many times when you have a history, they can see it in the computer.
Absolutely.
So did they even check to see the history and to see the legitimacy?
Well, one of the officers that was present was there overnight with me and had already previously been at the hospital and seen me going through the medical transitions with surgeries and medications and everything. So he was actually there. So he was aware of a lot of different things. They just showed a complete, totally disregard. Their whole objective was to get me to the jail.
Oh, and not have the medical interfere.
Right, because the police department, the police officers that was out there told medical they couldn't take me.
What?
Yeah.
They told the medical they couldn't.
They said, we want to get you to the jail. And it's all recorded. All of this is on video.
They say it's 3 hours of video.
Yes.
We playing some of the video as we broadcast live on YouTube and social media. But this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
Yes.
This is unbelievable. This treatment that they knowingly, they had the information there. They wasn't even trying to hear what you were saying.
Not at all.
Is there at any point did you feel like you were going to die?
Yes. It actually, on the video, you could hear me say, am I going to die? Because I had one of my lungs had collapsed. I had 5 broken ribs. I had a laceration grade 4 to my spleen, to my kidney. I had liver damage.
And this was the condition you was in.
Yes.
When they was transporting.
Yes. I had maybe 22 stitches in my knee, a rod. I have rods and staples, and I have rods and stuff in my groin area. I had like 60 staples going up my back buttock, a broke arm. I had like 12 stitches in my arm, plus a rod that was in my arm. So I had all of this stuff going on, and I was 5 days off of the surgery table.
And they had you out there suffering.
And they had me out there naked like that.
Oh, wow. Well, you're in good hands with attorney B. Ivy Lamar. Once again, one of our natives here in Milwaukee who fights for human and civil rights for those that can't speak for themselves. It seems like they didn't even treat you like you was even a human. Like you were not human to them.
Oh, yeah, and you could see it on a video. For those who are watching the video, you could see the total disregard. You could see my conditions deteriorating. You could see snot coming out my nose. You could see me sweating profusely. You could see the sweat dripping from my face. If I would have stayed out there a little longer, I would have passed away. When I was rushed back to the hospital, I stayed for 5 more days. They were giving me IVs. I had a heat stroke. All type of internal damages. All of my injuries were exacerbated. Both of my feet were swelled up. It felt like I had a pillow inside of my chest.
Oh, wow. Mr. Locke, anything that you want the community to know right now?
Yes, absolutely. I think that everybody have to come together to stop these type of events from happening. People have to be accountable for the things that they do and don't do. This could have easily been avoided. I could have easily been transported in an ambulance from the hospital to the jail. These officers and the people responsible, they have to be accountable. These type of inhumane conditions and treatments are not only unconstitutional, but they are completely unacceptable.
Well, look, you got our prayers for speedy recovery.
Thank you.
And thank God that you're still alive, Mr. Locke. You know, because this could have ended in the worst way.
Oh, yes.
Well, look, we're going to follow your case and the developments. Once again, there was a press conference today. Attorney B.I.V. Lamar files a lawsuit against Racine Police Department following inhumane transport hospitalization of Mr. Locke. Mr. Locke, I thank y'all for coming on the show today.
And thank you for having me.
And this won't be the last time because I know we got other things that are going to happen. This is a journey.
Absolutely.
And you have our support right here at Truth Nation. We thank you for coming in and telling your story.
And thank you so much, brother, for having me.
Wow, Truth Nation. I'll tell you this. When we hear things like this, today it's Mr. Locke. Tomorrow it's you. This is why we got to stand up. This is why we got to fight. This is why we can't take these things lightly. And we won't.
Absolutely.
Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation. Truth Nation, stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
It's Kyle Wallace, host of Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and I want you to tune in every day from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. as I engage in a community conversation I know you want to hear. From topics like our property tax bill price hike, which I know had us all shaking our heads, to the incredible MPS students getting millions of dollars worth of scholarships to pursue their dreams, I have you covered, Milwaukee. So tune in to Truth to Power every day from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Tune into The Truth this Saturday at 11 a.m. for another episode of More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin. Me, your girl Noni Juice, will be joined by Sarah Noble. And in this episode, we are going to be discussing the court, the candidates, and the power to protect or destroy lives, because as you all know, it is a very important spring election coming up. So we get into it, and I want y'all to be tapped in. So again, that is More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin, this Saturday at 11 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call. Brought to you by the National Academy of Engineering. Learn more at nae.edu.
Join the livest talk and text fan base in the country.
I love listening to the truth. I just love the truth. It's the best station out here right now. So I'm down with the truth.
You're the best thing on the radio, man. I don't agree with you all the time, but today I really did. The Girl Scout thing that gets to me.
I'm sipping on y'all, man. I appreciate all the wonderful things that you're doing. Congratulations on your new hours.
Keep texting, keep calling, keep being you, Truth Nation. Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth. Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory, Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory, Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the second hour of the Tory Lowe Show. We got guests coming in. We got some guests. We got more guests coming in. When they get here, we'll bring them on. But I want to talk about that alderman that spoke out about the littering. I'll say this. A lot of people in the chat, they said that he made an apology on Kyle's Truth to Power, and we got some audio of it. DJ Brothers, he's setting up the audio. But I didn't hear it, so I wanted to play it so we can keep it moving because, like I said, we're not here to condemn. We're here to use everything as a teachable moment. And people speak out of pocket. People speak out of turn all the time. But I think that he called and he made an apology. We got some audio. Let's listen.
Absolutely. So, again, I appreciate him apologizing. But, again, he got a lot of smoke on the internet. But right now, actually, there's a phone call that we got in, and it's actually Alderman Lamont Westmoreland. Alderman, you have called in the Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. Thank you for calling in. And you want to make a comment or talk about kind of all the controversy that's taken place after your press release yesterday?
What's up, fellas?
What's up, bro?
I'm doing okay. I heard you guys talking, and I'll say no lies have been told. I have a personal policy for myself, and there are a lot of things that frustrate me, and what I do is I write things down, and sometimes me writing it down is just getting them off of my chest. It makes me feel better. The statement that I released on Monday, it was I'm driving around my district, and it was pure frustration, and I pulled over on the side of the road and I wrote that, and I fired it out against my own personal policy. The goal with the statement was to get people engaging on an issue that I think is spiraling out of control, and it's starting to feel like it's becoming too accepting of people. So that's where that stems from. However, I am not above admitting when I'm wrong and when my approach is wrong. And when I sent that statement out, even before the backlash and people sharing their thoughts and opinions and how they felt and how they were offended, even before that, once that statement was sent out, I said, man, that doesn't even sound good. So what came, I'm not surprised by. People that are offended, they deserve to be offended. So I'm just calling to say that my apology is sincere. My apology is not because I'm getting beat up. My apology is sincere. They say in this world you can never please everybody 100% of the time, but that's what I aim to do. And like I said on my statement this morning, I missed the mark. It was frustration. My frustration spilled over. And for anybody that's offended by what I said, it is a sincere apology for my approach because it was wrong.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well, he admitted he was wrong, and that's tough to do sometimes, but he did it, and we're going to move on. I mean, teachable moment, like I said, and we'll continue. Once again, the Truth Nation, I want to let y'all know that the 4th annual Tory Lowe Community Cleanup is on Saturday, April 12th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., and we want you there. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer to help keep Milwaukee clean. Everyone who registers for the last cleanup site will get a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today at truthcommunitycleanup.com to clean and beautify our city together. The Tory Lowe Community Cleanup is on Saturday, April 12th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's presented by 1MKE. We are 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, U.S. Cellular, Landmark Credit Union, Ray's Coca-Cola, and Waste Management. Okay, so I can't wait to see everybody outside this year. See, I'll say this, sometimes the frustration, and that's why we talked about emotional intelligence today. That's why we talked about having control over how you react to something that makes you upset. And without me really understanding that or not really discussing the alderman situation, self-care and emotional intelligence and self-awareness is important, especially when you're in a leadership position, especially when you have the people, the duty to serve the people. You can't do random out-of-touch ideas, and I hope that you learn from it and move on, and hopefully you come out to the cleanup and help with the community. We got a lot of people registering right now. Hopefully the aldermen get out there and help clean up one of the sites. That'll help. That'll show that you're sorry. How do you know if somebody's truly sorry, not through their words, but through their actions? So hopefully he'll come out and register for the cleanup April 12th. Hey, look, when we come back, we got guests, Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call, That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call, That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call, That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know, what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year, 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Who decided you need to have lots of money?
Have to live in a certain area. Have to be a certain color.
To have a dream. To expect a great education.
It's no secret many of Milwaukee's students lack the resources, support, and opportunities that more privileged children have, but you may not know all the things Milwaukee College Prep is doing to change that. We urge you to visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to find out and see how you can help children like
me,
and me.
Give the education all kids deserve. Donate today at MKEPrep.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Not talk number cat. Running the rats like I want them. Counter the rapper gon' want them. Carrots don't want them upon us. Clarity beats I see water. Talking cash out when I want them. Talking cash out when I want them. Stones in my teeth. Don't talk for free. Don't care to speak. I'm a
101, 7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. Hey, look, we got guests. We got our money millions in studio.
Yes, sir.
And we got guests. Our money brought in worldwide DG, XBMC Lex Hodges in the studio.
For sure.
How y'all doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
All right. Our money, what's going on? What's coming up?
Okay. This Saturday coming up, man. We got Clap or Boo. MKE, Showtime, Apollo, MKE.
Okay, we back again.
Clap
or boo?
Clap or boo. So you got a choice. You could clap or you could boo. Don't be on no bull, though. Don't be on no bull, but right. You can clap or boo. Yeah.
I seen the flyers. And the thing is, when you talk about the Apollo, a lot of times, a lot of people think they got the stuff. They think they got the right stuff.
They think they ready. And some people got booed last time. Some people thought they had the right stuff, and they got booed off the stage.
Hey, is it a seat?
Right here.
There we go, right there. Move that seat around. Hey, look. Okay, so all I'll say is this. When you talk about talent, because you deal with a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Our money. You do a lot of things where you showcase a lot of talent.
Most definitely.
So now this is the second edition of the Apollo.
Yeah.
Where are they going to have this at?
We having it at 100 Gems.
At 100 Gems. What's the address?
That's 50. Hold on. 6737. All right, 6737 North Titonia.
Yeah, hand me a flyer.
We ain't got nothing with us.
Oh, wow. Okay, well.
She's so unprepared.
It's okay.
She's so unprepared.
Hey, come on now. She's still recovering from the accident.
Yeah, we had to get to her. Today was a big physical therapy. She's starting to walk, so these physical therapies getting a little bit heavier. So we was there a little bit late today. We thought we'd be a little bit earlier.
Okay, so what can people expect? How much is tickets? What's going on? Give everybody the layout because it's this Saturday.
It's this Saturday, 100 Gems. Tickets is as low as $15 on Eventbrite. $15 on Eventbrite. We have, if you want a table or a section, you have to inbox our money, ENT_414. Yep, our money, OURMONEY, ENT_414. Inbox for tables and sections, but the tickets gonna be sold at the door. Tickets on Eventbrite, $15. We try to make it as reasonable as possible for our community.
And you always have family-friendly events.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of youth.
Yeah,
a lot of mothers, a lot of parents, a lot of kids there having a great time.
Some good food. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be good laughter. It's gonna be good. Just gonna be great performances. These three of the artists we highlighted, man. These three artists who we think ready to take the next step.
Okay, that's what's happening in.
These the people we highlighting. They not in the contest. They not in the actual contest. So these.
He said y'all ready to take the next step. What's happening?
I feel like they look like they look like they ready to take the next step.
It look like it. Hey, I like to paint the art.
That's Drake Cash. That's Drake Cash right there.
Let me know if y'all want to. You know what I mean? Let people have some.
Y'all,
let me know.
One of y'all want to rap?
Hey, let me know. Hey, let me know if y'all want.
He a singer though.
However y'all trying to dish it out. Have y'all trying to? I like art. When you come on this show, you gotta, you know what I mean. You gotta have the A game now. You gotta be ready to go.
He ready. He got his head like, yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm always ready. But at the same time, I got this one hit that's out right now that's finna get on all the radios. You know what I'm saying? Soon.
Okay.
It's called Money Dance.
Okay.
And so that's one.
You know we need a copy of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's the radio edit because you know we on the radio ain't no profanity or nothing like that. I need the radio edit.
Yeah. I'm working on all that right now.
Okay, so how did you get involved? Once again, restate your name and how did you get involved?
Okay, well, my name BMC Lex Hodges.
Oh, that's what's up.
I pretty much how I got involved with as far as the event.
No, just rap, entertainment, period.
Well, Mom started me off around when I was 5 years old, talent shows and all that stuff. I used to win a lot of talent shows when I was young.
Okay.
And I been had the passion for it, but I went through regular stuff in life, so I had to pretty much build who I am now.
Okay.
So I can say now I take it more serious because I think of it as a job now, more than just a hobby. So, it's been a long road, but
DJ Brother Z, hold on, he got to get that music. You got a radio edit now? Can you email it to DJ Brother Z?
Yeah, I can email or something to him.
Well, look, get y'all stuff together because we like to showcase.
For sure.
A lot of people be wolfing, but we like to proofing. You know what I mean? We like to put that proof up. But like I said, our money, he's one of the guys that I know he deals with the talent in the city. He has a lot of people that that he invests in ideas to showcase talent here in the city. And that's why every time he give me a ring, every time he's trying to do something, I'll be like, come on, because we got to have a platform for the people to know what's happening in. And so when y'all come in here, I may not this time, I may have to, if y'all, unless y'all ready, we.
Man, I know one of y'all.
Hey, come on now.
Listen, they got to say that for the show anyway, to make sure everybody can roll down. They gonna get ready and get their voices ready. Everybody looking all iced out today right now. They just came to sit here and look pretty today, I think.
I'm Worldwide DG. I got a song out right now called Before You Say I'm the One.
You got it's out now?
Yep.
Radio friendly?
To the end, yeah. Heck yeah, that's all.
Okay, so when we go to break, I'm gonna need you to go and get DJ Brother Z the email and send him over a copy so when we come back we can hear it.
Heck yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, this is what we about. Hometown talent, people in our city being showcased and highlighted. And this is why I love when y'all come on the show. Once again, Saturday, March 29th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Apollo, showtime at the Apollo, clap or boo. And I see you got Von Mays on the front. Is he performing or what's going on?
So he's not performing. That's just part of the team. So you got MKE Direct, you got Armani, ENT, and then you got Von Mays. So it's a team of us collaborating together to really make it happen. As well as just like you say, we support the city. We want to shout out you because you've been doing so much support of the local artists, and right now you got artists like Steve the Stoner and everybody that's doing what they need to do.
Doing the dance. You know how to do the uptown downtown?
Now you know I can't walk.
Okay, I forgot. I forgot. You got to get there. I forgot. You got to get healed up. You got to get healed up. But like I said, this is amazing. Saturday, once again, it'll be an Apollo night. Once again, give the information, Numi.
Yes, so join us. Like you said, March 29th. The tickets are $15 on Eventbrite. You can also get those tickets picked up at MKE Direct or Armani Millions. That's both on Instagram at ArmaniENT_414. You got tables right now, 2 for $60. They come with meals. So on a Saturday night, you getting in somewhere and you eating good. We feed everybody.
Right.
We feed people. So, we got tables and sections. You can get 8 people in and a whole section for $200. You know what I'm saying? On Saturday night, you ain't getting no sections. You ain't getting no sections and prices. So,
once again,
come and turn up.
This will be at 100 Gems, 6737 North Tatonia Avenue. It's looking powerful.
Oh, yeah.
The last event was powerful.
Absolutely.
And the young man came in and won the prize, and we did it right here on the show. Okay, the winner got to come on the show again. The winner got to come on the show again. We got to present him his prize on the show. Or her.
Yes.
Might be a female, Mike.
We got a few ladies.
Hey, look, when we come back, I think we might get some art here. I think we got enough to get some art. I want to see the artist paint a picture when we get back. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
With Donald Trump dismantling the Federal Department of Education, we need to make sure we have someone we trust running Wisconsin public schools. That's Democrat Jill Underly. As state superintendent, Democrat Jill Underly has fought to reduce class sizes, expand career and technical education, and she worked to pass a new literacy law that will help improve young kids' reading abilities. Her opponent is Republican lobbyist Brittany Kinzer. Kinzer is backed by the same MAGA millionaires that put Donald Trump in the White House. And when Republican lobbyist Brittany Kinzer was asked about Donald Trump dismantling the Department of Education, Kinzer said, quote, "It's fine." Well, it's not fine, Brittany. We need someone to lead Wisconsin public schools who will be a champion for our kids and community, not a puppet for Donald Trump and the Republicans. On Election Day, April 1st, vote for Democrat Jill Underly for state superintendent. Paid for by the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, authorized by Underly for WI.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was the song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Make history at the amazing 10th annual UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball on March 29th. Join Mayor Cavalier Johnson for an unforgettable evening that will transform lives. Every dollar raised helps promising local students achieve their college dreams through vital scholarships. This premier gala doesn't just celebrate our community, it builds future leaders. Be a part of Milwaukee's most meaningful social event of the year. Reserve your place now at uncf.org/MMB. That is uncf.org/MMB.
Keep your business safe, secure, and spotless with the Omega Security Guard and Cleaning Team. Proudly located in Milwaukee and female-owned, Omega delivers professional security and tailored cleaning services to meet your needs. Whether it's event security or a custom cleaning plan, their dedicated team goes above and beyond to exceed your expectations. Because at Omega, they're not just your service provider, they're your partner in peace of mind. Contact Omega Security Guard today or online at OmegaSecurityGuard.com. Omega Security Guard and Cleaning, protecting what matters most.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Bucks will wrap up their 5-game West Coast road trip tonight in Denver as they get set to take on the Nuggets. Bucks guard Damian Lillard has officially been ruled out indefinitely after the health team discovered a deep vein thrombosis in his right calf. Tip-off tonight is scheduled for 8 p.m. Over to baseball, where spring training is all wrapped up for the Milwaukee Brewers. The next focus, the regular season, as they are in New York as they prepare to take on the Yankees in tomorrow's season opener. And lastly, some NFL news. The New York Giants and quarterback Russell Wilson have agreed on a one-year, $21 million deal, and the New England Patriots also agreeing with wide receiver Stephon Diggs to a 3-year, $69 million deal as well. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
When the labels come around, I need them. The only rapper in the city that met Luda do the trend. I ain't asking for no favors, get it out the mud. I ain't asking for no verses, I'ma show you why I'm number one. Ooh, I'm leaking with the underdogs. Cause when you get a buzz, I act like David Ruffin. Boy, don't never play with us, we ain't David Busters. I'm the type to hit your and our favorite cousin. Oof, yup. Taking fire to the south right now. Ask Frank, he roll with me, he know how I get down. Andy, Matt, Tina, Randy, OD, but I'm still serving his sister, and I'm still serving
101, 7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show, DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. We got Our Money LLC in the studio. They doing the Clapper Boo Apollo at 100 Gems at 6737 North Teutonia Avenue. They brought some artists in the studio. Did we get a song? Can we hear some songs? What song? Set this up. What song we got? What song we about to play?
So we about to play my song.
Okay. Can you introduce it?
Heck yeah, for sure. So I'm Worldwide DG. This song is called To The End. It's one of my singles I just released or whatever, and man, I appreciate the opportunity.
What's the motivation behind it?
Really, somebody who done lost their old lady.
Oh wow!
You know, going through the motions and trying to get her back. You know, the old same.
When a woman's
thing.
fed up.
Yeah, actually, I felt like it wasn't enough artists begging no more. It was all about taking somebody's girl. And the third.
I'm gonna take your girl,
so,
right?
So I wanted to keep sweating a little bit. I want to do a little begging. So I
what? That's old school now. You going back?
Yeah.
They might like you.
And man, maybe, hopefully.
You know, the ladies like when you make you beg a little bit.
Yeah. We ain't got enough begging, you know.
Oh wow. well, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Appreciate it.
Things don't go the way we planned. Baby, don't let that get in your head now. Don't let your friends talk you out our bed now. Thought you said we in this to the end now. Things don't go the way we planned. Baby, don't let that get in your head now. Don't let your friends talk you out our bed now. Thought you said we in this to the end now.
Hit me up in the chat what y'all think about it. Hey.
Tell me what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do, babe? Who's gonna talk to me on the phone till the sun comes up? Who gonna take my place, baby? Nobody better. Bought you Burberry sweaters. Catch me with this Beretta. I'm gone. You act like if they come get me, you not gonna answer your phone. Don't you ever tell me you hate me. That's not the time we young. Or could it be another man or fair play? I understand. I just want you to know that's not the way I plan for it to go.
Hey. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Worldwide DG, man. Y'all check me out on all
I see what you're doing with that. I need a copy of that.
Man, I got you for sure. We're gonna get you like right in.
I need a copy of that.
I appreciate it.
That's what's happening then. Hey. What's going on? That's gonna be a good. You performing that at the Apollo?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that one out. Yeah.
Now, do you got the dance moves? I mean, do you? What? I mean, are you singing and dance? I mean, you trying to?
Yeah, when I was younger,
Chris Brown it out. Or?
I could hit a mean two-step. Man.
Okay,
you know, I could keep a beat, but I'm gonna lead a dance in the Chris now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like
So
I got
you
kids,
more
man.
like just you just gonna sing it and let them have it.
Yeah, but you know it's gonna be entertaining. You know, I know how to be
you know how to do something with the mic stand.
100%.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
The mic stand.
yeah. Little mic stand, spin, slide. Gotta have a slide in there. So,
gotta have a little turn or something.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
All right, that sounded powerful. Is that it, DJ Brother Z? All right. Well, I appreciate y'all for coming on the show today. Hey, anything else y'all want to say before we get out of here?
No, we just want to make sure everybody knows that, March 29th, come out, support your city, support the local artists. Don't wait for somebody else outside of your city to tell you that they great. Come see it for yourself. Get it live in action.
Be a witness.
Be a witness of it. March 29th.
Witness the power.
Man.
100 Gems, 6737 North Teutonia Avenue.
And how they get the tickets?
You can get them on Eventbrite, or you can get on Instagram and go to ourmoneyent_414, or hit up 414-313-8302. Once again, that's 414-313-8302.
All right. Look, I thank y'all for coming through. As usual.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey, and I need the winner on the show.
You got it.
Because you know what? That's powerful. Yeah. That talent. The last person, he went off to New York.
Wow.
Yes.
family was singing up here. That was,
Well, we can't hear you. We can't hear
His family was totally happy about that. He was excited.
Hey, well, thank y'all for coming through. When we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump are out of control, slashing healthcare and food for hungry kids, eliminating the Department of Education. Now, Musk and Trump are trying to buy a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, spending millions to elect extremist Brad Schimmel. And if elected, Schimmel wants to criminalize abortion, even in cases of rape and incest. Brad Schimmel, an extreme rubber stamp for Musk and Trump, and wrong for Wisconsin. We need justices who are fair, who know right from wrong. Judge Susan Crawford has spent her life standing up for Wisconsin and keeping us safe. She'll always protect our right to choose, and Crawford will be the check and balance we need against Elon Musk and Donald Trump. On April 1st, vote Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Go to www.iwillvote.com to find out where and how to cast your vote by April 1st. Paid for by Power to the Polls Action Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
Finding stable housing shouldn't be a struggle. The Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center connects renters, property owners, and partners to the resources they need, whether it's rental assistance, legal aid, mediation, or tenant education. No matter what your situation is, you do not have to go at it alone. Get assistance today by visiting renthelpmke.org. That is renthelpmke.org, or stop by their office at 728 North James Level Street in Milwaukee. At the Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center, they are here for all your housing needs.
Truth Nation, gear up for a great time as Sports Milwaukee hosts Milwaukee Tailgate Week, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Set for April 24th to the 26th, Milwaukee Tailgate Week features a variety of gridiron activations for all ages, steeped in Milwaukee's iconic sports history, attractions, brews, restaurants, and venues. As the 2025 draft takes center stage in Green Bay, Sports Milwaukee and the Cream City are excited to welcome the football world back to Wisconsin. For tickets, go to visitmilwaukee.org/tailgate. Brought to you by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
Did you know the gap between Black and white students in Milwaukee continues to expand and is among the worst in the nation?
Or that the overall learning gap in Milwaukee is nearly twice that of the national average for Black students?
Milwaukee, you can do better.
But in charter schools like Milwaukee College Prep, Black and Hispanic students have stronger growth than kids at traditional public schools.
That's some really good news.
For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible. Give the education all kids deserve. Donate today at mkeprep.com.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Everybody ain't your partner.
Why the f*** these niggas wanna go against the grain? Yeah. Why the f*** these niggas wanna drag it in the name? True story. I know some niggas who hurt me, they hurt me. A couple bitches who hurt me, they hurt me. The jury don't want me to make it. The DA, I know that he working. Oh, he working. Prosecutors wanna help me. What? I'm hoping they don't do me dirty. It's 40, I got the 30. Shoot on go, he shoot perfect.
I keep 100 on me.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. I want to go to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where rapper Boosie got caught up in a little bit of community scandal. He wanted to help out the family of the young man that was hazed and he died, Caleb Wilson. They saying that Boosie was using his name and image to promote the Boosie Bash. Well, Boosie says that he contacted the family and said that he was going to do some scholarship ideas for the family, but it went south. This actually made regular news. You know, when the artists make regular news, it's bad. Usually they be on Vlad or these podcasts, on the celebrity sites. But when they make the local news, it's bad. That's when it ain't the pop culture report no more. That's when it got real. But he was trying to help. I guess, according to Lil Boosie, he had made contact with some of the family members and kind of told them that he was going to try to do something to help. And I guess they felt that he was using unauthorized use of the images of the young man, Caleb Wilson, his image. We got some video of this. If y'all watching this, we broadcast live on YouTube. Let's listen.
University fraternity pledge killed in a hazing incident. We first broke the news this afternoon. Attorney General Liz Murrill may seek legal action against one of the most prominent rappers to come from Baton Rouge. Little Boosie headlined Boosie Bash tonight and said some of the proceeds from the concert would go to a scholarship honoring Caleb Wilson. But his family disputes that. The AG says Boosie was using Wilson's name to promote his annual music festival. News 2's Gabby Davis has more on the actions Murrill is calling disgusting. Gabby.
Sarah Gray, the annual Boosie Bash kicked off today and was supposed to be a way to launch the Caleb Wilson Memorial Scholarship. That's what Boosie told WBRZ on Friday. Boosie did confirm he was working with the Human Jukebox and Wilson's family to honor Wilson with a scholarship. Take a listen.
You're actually working with the Human Jukebox and you're working with his family to get this scholarship going, and some of the funds are going to be from the concert are going to be going back into this scholarship, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do something special for him because this is a tragic loss.
According to the Attorney General, Wilson's parents had no idea that the event was happening. They knew Boosie had wanted to start a scholarship, but that was the furthest the conversation went. Murrill said the family's upset, saying it's victimizing them all over again. She did tell us promoters agreed to stop using Caleb's image, but says the damage is already done. The 6th annual Boosie Bash kicked off at Southern University. Boosie confirmed to WBRZ on Friday that he had plans to use the funds from Boosie Bash for a scholarship dedicated to Caleb Wilson. Wilson died in an alleged hazing incident back in February. According to Attorney General Liz Murrill, Wilson's family says they had no knowledge that their son's name and image was being used to promote the music festival.
Their understanding was that Boosie wanted to contribute and start a scholarship fund at the school and put some money towards starting a scholarship. That was the extent of the conversation that they had with him more than a week ago, and no one ever asked them or even mentioned this event, and no one ever asked them if they could use his name and image to promote the event.
But on Friday, Boosie talked with WBRZ and confirmed he was working with both Wilson's family and the Human Jukebox.
And I know that you are launching a foundation of scholarship in his name. Is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna try to do something positive because I'm grateful for his dad and all the people who made this work. But we're gonna do something special for him because that it's a life lost too short.
Murrill says she intends to take legal action for the misuse of Wilson's name for profit.
It's a dramatic misrepresentation and misappropriation of Caleb's name and image to support a for-profit event.
We reached out to Boosie's team who were not available for it.
I'll say this. This happened in Milwaukee a couple times where, when a situation takes place, the media gets all over it, and then, there's confusion with the image of the victim. Basically, I say they victims because Caleb is a victim. He lost his life taking pledging. But when Boosie got involved, he says he's talking to the family. I'm kind of wondering, when he talked to the family, did he say that he was going to combine the energy with the Boosie Bash? Sometimes when people they don't have that clarity and they say they want to do something, so the family thinking they just gonna come in and go in their pocket and just do it right there. And many times when you don't have clear communication, things like this happen. And they should have definitely showed the family the flyers and the imagery before they put the imagery out. But Boosie probably didn't need no extra help to promote his stuff in Louisiana because he's extremely popular. He's extremely popular, but like I said, maybe there was a miscommunication because I see it happen all the time. And I'm going to tell you, folks get sensitive about their loved one, especially when it's tragedy. So the communication got to be extremely clear. This is why I'm by request. This is why I don't, any incident that I'm dealing with, I'm by request. I'm the most requested advocate in the state of Wisconsin. That means I got to call. You got to call me. We got to talk. We got to figure it out. We got to come up with a plan, and we got to execute. It ain't no just I see something on TV and you go over there. No, I ain't never did that. I'm by request. So from the time I came back home to now, people have always reached out, always gave me the rundown. We've always came up with a plan and we executed. That was it. Now, I don't know if Boosie was actually handling the situation or was it somebody that was working with him handling the situation, but I'll tell you this. If you're going to do imagery of somebody or a victim, you got to show before you even put anything out, you got to show the family. And a lot of people go rush to do these GoFundMes, and you see what happened with the last recent event where somebody put out a fake GoFundMe. People, you if you're going to help the family, make sure that before you do anything that you talk to the person that has to handle all the responsibilities. That's who I look for as an advocate. When they call me, they say, hey, Tory, my family need help. I say, who's handling all the responsibilities? Because I need that person to handle everything, and we can work the energy around that person and funnel the energy to that source. And I think that right now they even got an attorney, DJ Brother Z. Like they feel like, okay, something wasn't communicated to where they even felt that he put the images out to promote the Boosie bash. Hey, I'll keep everybody updated on this, but I'll tell you this, as an advocate that I've been doing it for a long time, a lot of people say, Tory, what do you mean when you say you by request? What happened with Boosie? To prevent all of the extra stuff that goes on because there's already a bad situation where the family is hurting and then they're never going to get their loved one back. So they're super sensitive. They're going to be extra sensitive. And I'll tell you this, I've seen people get cussed out right at some of these visuals because they tried to insert themselves into people's problems. Sometimes when you go ask for people stuff because you've seen it on the news, they didn't call you over there. They don't trust you like that because they didn't call you over there, but yet you want to render services. I get it. You want to render services, you can help. But make sure that communication is clear. Because I done seen fights break out. Whew. Well, I hope that they can get this cleared up, DJ Brother Z, because I think Boosie may have had the right intentions in this one, where he saw an opportunity to really give back to his hometown, to his community, and to help out somebody that had a tragic situation. But like I said, sometimes people think that since you're a celebrity, that you can't communicate well and you can do whatever you want. And maybe somebody in his camp, that's what I'm thinking, DJ Brother Z, somebody in his camp may have kind of rushed and jumped the gun on this. You know what I mean? But we'll keep everybody up to speed on that. We'll keep everybody up to speed. But if you want to call into the show today, we talked about the alderman and the litter. He apologized. He apologized. If y'all want to talk about it, 833-212-1017. Talk to text 833-212-1017. I forgive him for the mishap, DJ Buzzy. I'm done with it. Somebody was in the chat. I don't want to keep talking about it. I mean, I think he said what he had to say. I hope he come out to the cleanup to show some action or organize a cleanup in his district and let that be that. We ain't gonna be like how some of y'all try to y'all wanna win so bad that y'all want to hold a grudge against somebody no matter what they do. Y'all, how y'all feel, how y'all be acting when y'all think y'all got some kind of win or some kind of control. Y'all go outrageous with it. And even though the man said he was sorry, y'all still don't, you need to forgive yourself sometimes. So people who do that, they ain't forgave themselves. We not here to condemn. We here to work. And like I said, he got time. He's new. He's still new to the game. Let's see how he improves on it. Let's see if he improves on it. Hey, we got a situation. Okay, we got another situation that it's that time of the year where we see a lot of this domestic. A man allegedly tried to kill his wife by pushing her off a Hawaii hiking trail. This is something that I saw somebody send this to me, and they said, Tory, what's going on with these people? I said, I don't know. That's why I'm talking about self-care, managing your emotions. I've been talking about self-care the whole time, the whole month of March. And folks had said, Tory, look at this story. In Honolulu, husband is accused of trying to unalive his wife while hiking in Hawaii. We got some video on this. If y'all watching this, we broadcast live on YouTube. Let's listen.
Look at Gerhard Koenig. The 46-year-old was arrested last night following a short foot chase in the Aloha State. Police say he attempted to push his wife off of a hiking trail and hit her in the head with a rock. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Records show Koenig previously lived in Mount Lebanon and had property in other parts of the Pittsburgh region. He is also a former UPMC employee, but a spokesperson says he has not worked for them for more than 2 years.
Wow. DJ Brother Z. All right, I'll say this. So I'll say this about before I get to what I seen in the chat. I'll say this. It's not worth it. It's not worth the arguing. It's not worth it. If y'all listening right now, y'all may be upset. It's not worth it. Walk away. If I don't tell you nothing else, unless you don't want to live free no more or have a good life, a decent life where you have a chance, I don't know what to say. But there was an incident. I'm going to move on. There was an incident at the Milwaukee Mall. I posted this on my page. I posted this on my page, and they're saying that there was a body found in or around the Milwaukee Mall. Now, I got video of somebody sent me video of somebody being hauled out of the door. They're saying that it may be an elder. Now, I was looking for a few elders a while back that we don't even know what happened to them. We don't, I'm hoping that, I don't know, hopefully we can get some more information, but I remember we were looking for one of the elders, and they kind of disappeared near 35th and Burleigh. We lost his trail. And when I saw this on the news, not on the news, but on social media, that there was something found in the Milwaukee Mall, and now I'm hearing that I don't know if this is true or not. Allegedly, it was a 65-year-old. I don't until I can see the police report, I don't know. But if it was an elder, it was a couple elders that had went missing a while back, and I kind of lost track of them in that area. So I don't know. Hopefully we can get some more details on this. Hopefully we can get, by the time I get off the show today, tomorrow we can have a little bit more information. But once again, there's something going on at the Milwaukee Mall where a lot of people thought it was multiple bodies. But I'm only hearing that it was one. If y'all got any more information, hit me up in the chat. Somebody said, Tory, did you hear of what happened yesterday at the old Milwaukee Mall? Yes, I shared it on my page right when people were starting to tag me in the footage. And I'll tell you this, I don't condolences to whoever loved one that is, but I'm hoping that we can identify the person and hopefully the community is alerted to who that is, because I'm telling you right now, my heart started jumping when I heard it, when I heard the information that it was somebody that was in there and they may have been an elder. But we got some video of this if you're watching as we broadcast live on YouTube and social media. Let's listen.
Developing tonight, a death reported at the former Milwaukee Mall building. The medical examiner's office confirms they responded to the building tonight for at least one death, but the circumstances are not clear. We've reached out to Milwaukee police to learn more. The Milwaukee Mall is at the corner of Fond du Lac and North on the city's north side.
Now, wasn't they supposed to fix that up? Wasn't that a project that they gave like a couple $1 million a while back to fix up the Milwaukee Mall, but it never happened? So what happened to the money that they gave out to the construction company to fix it? Wasn't it some money exchanged to fix that? I got to go look back at. Let me look this up while I'm. I got a little time. Wasn't the Milwaukee Mall was supposed to be under construction, or they were supposed to rehab it, and it never got done? Now it was a place where a body came out of it, where it's just sitting vacant. Who got that money? Who got that money? Who got that money to fix up the Milwaukee Mall a couple years ago? Stacy in 7551 says, oh, she's talking about the self-care. Most of these concepts of self-care may not apply if people have mentally psychological issues. Hey, you might be right. You might be right, but who was supposed to? Hit me up in the chat. When I run the break, I'm gonna look it up. But who got that money to help fix the Milwaukee Mall? I know they were supposed to fix it up, but that was years ago. I ain't seen no work on it yet. I ain't seen nothing done to it. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's why I ain't against when people do audits and try to figure out where the money went, because I think that it was some tax dollars that went in to try to fix that Milwaukee Mall, or some kind of funding. Hey, I'm looking it up now. I'm trying to see. This had to be back in 2018 or something like that. I'll figure it out. I'll find it. By the next hour, I'll have it up. But I'll tell you this. It was like I said, hopefully we can identify who this is. And you know what? I'll tell you this. It's a lot going on every day in the city of Milwaukee. I can't even keep up. DJ Brother Z. Somebody was asking me the other day, I was dealing with one homicide and another one happened, and somebody was asking me about the Fresh killing, and I didn't even know because I was dealing with one that I was trying to resolve with the family. And I'll say this. Y'all got to keep y'all head on the swivel in 2025. It's a lot of things that are going to happen. Oh, here we go. 793-3171 says the Hayward Group. The Hayward Group. Ain't that the group where the son is a state representative? The Hayward, that's the representative. Well, somebody got some money to fix up the Milwaukee Mall. If y'all want to chime in on the conversation, I'll take a few calls before we run the break. 833-212-1017. 833-212-1017. I'll say this. Somebody said, I think it's been sold. Okay. It's been sold. Winky Blue, you're on the new 1017 The Truth. Tap in.
Hey, good afternoon to you, big brother.
Blessings, Brother Wink.
In here about 3 or 4 months ago, just around, I think, it might even been in January here or late December. The police had shot at somebody, or they were chasing somebody, and it was some gunplay involved, and they chased some people in that mall. It was 2 guys, and one of the guys they claimed got away, but the other guy they took into custody. Now, they stayed there for 2 or 3 days, at least 2 days, a night or so, going through that place, getting a gander of it. So I'm wondering, was that the same guy? How long has this body been in there?
I don't know.
See, everybody forgetting about that.
Right.
They're forgetting about the Milwaukee Mall. Just pull it up, this old Sears building, police shooting or something where they had that whole block blocked off from North Avenue, Fond du Lac, man, from the Save-A-Lot all the way back to 20th Street, back up to probably 24th Street. All that was blocked off, and they were in that building. They chased the suspects supposed to have ran into that building. So now I'm thinking, did one of them guys actually didn't get away, had gotten shot? Okay? See, this is the stuff that people don't pay attention to. Every day this stuff happens. Then when I call in, people don't want to hear it. But because they not savvy. They not up on this stuff for real. You know, they think all I do is sit on the radio or sit around. I work and I listen and I pay close attention at night. When everybody else is sleeping, I'm probably at my kitchen table, you know, looking over some things. Now, going back to this Moreland guy, that's something you need to check into about the police. There was a shooting there, and they chased 2 suspects. I think they got one suspect, and they couldn't get away. They stayed in that building for over 24 hours. They're going to say that they went through the whole building, and they probably did. But if the boy crawled into a hole and they couldn't find him, or if I don't know, man, what the deal is on that. I want to know how long. I want to know how long the body has been in there.
Well, it was supposed to be a 5-star hotel. They were supposed to fix it up. I know they gave.
Well, that's after Haywood got in trouble.
And they got
after Haywood got in trouble with the girl. Said she. Remember, the girl said he raped her.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. All right. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Calling all Black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? We have teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. To sign up for your business spotlight interviews, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. inspiration. Engineers answer the call. Brought to you by the National Academy of Engineering. Learn more at nae.edu.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory, Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory, Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready. 101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the third hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And DJ Brother Z, he sent me this. He sent me this article about people contacting their dead loved ones. And I'll tell you this, I was laughing because sometimes when I send people something that I think is shocking, I send the 2 eyeballs. You know, the 2 eyeball emojis. Like, look at this. Like, now when I share stuff on social media, and it ain't even really nothing I can say, but I just send the 2 eyeballs out. Like, look at this. You know, and when he sent me this, I was like, nah, this ain't. Who? They got the phone set up. You know, they saying that this is a setup to where the loved ones, if you ever wished, you could have one more phone call with a loved one who has passed. At Brookfield Cemetery is now offering a way to start the conversation. We got video. I can't believe this. But I got the 2 eyeballs up and the eyebrow up. If y'all are watching as we broadcast live on YouTube, let's listen.
That's crack smoking crazy is what that is.
If you've ever wished that you could have one more phone call with a loved one who has passed, Brookfield Cemetery is now offering a way to start that conversation.
As 12 News' Mallory Anderson explains, a new wind phone is connecting people to the afterlife.
Between the rustling of trees and hum of tires winding the paths of Wisconsin Memorial Park comes a new sound on an old device. A vintage phone booth, refurbished and on display at the park's Family Reception Center. Inside it, a wind phone. It has no dial tone, but perhaps a clear line to the afterlife.
You can go inside, slide the door closed. The light comes on magically, and you can sit down, pick up the phone, and talk to your loved one.
The first wind phone was created 15 years ago by a man in Japan who wanted a way to talk to his cousin who had passed. Now, there are hundreds around the world, and Wisconsin Memorials is the first in the Milwaukee area.
The phone booth came here from my family, our house, and it's in here now.
Garrett Rose's dad worked for the phone company and had it as a novelty in his basement. When he learned of the wind phone phenomenon, he knew exactly what to do.
We're going to use it to, in my opinion, better serve families and give them just more of a service.
It's not always easy talking to a loved one who has passed. Sometimes it feels like you're just shouting into the void. This wind phone now can act as a vessel to start the conversation.
This phone will give people a chance to say something that maybe was left unsaid, things that are weighing on them that they might want to say to their loved one.
I think when you've lost someone, it can be really hard to connect, to finish saying those things you didn't get to say. And however you can write that and get through your grief is important, and it's worth maybe trying something a little bit different and be open to whatever you need in that moment while you're going through something tough.
It's been said that grief is love that has no place to go. Perhaps this old phone booth can be a rare, safe place to express those feelings and stay connected to those we miss.
Hey.
In Brookfield, Mallory Anderson.
All right, so 833-212-1017. Talk to text 833-212-1017. Hey, can you call up a loved one, DJ Brothers? Do you think that? What if you did pick up the phone and dialed the old number that they had, and somebody actually said hello?
That's the thing. Like, do you dial the old phone number?
Yeah, it got to be their number.
To heaven? Like, what is it?
It's got to be. I would assume that you would dial their old number first of all. And whatever happened to getting out there and just standing outside the gravesite and just having a chat?
What happened to putting a letter on a balloon?
Oh, I never heard of putting the letter on the what? So it could float to heaven?
Yeah, like you write like a note.
I know people release balloons at visuals.
Or you could just write it on the balloon, but like I feel like most people write in more stuff.
Okay, so when we was coming up, they was trying to use the Ouija board. And they said that was witchcraft and that was demonic, the Ouija board. But we got a poll in the chat. We got something that y'all can participate in the chat. Would you use the phone to call a dead relative? And if you could call, or if you could speak to one of your relatives, who would it be? 833-212-1017. Talk to text 833-212-1017. They might hear you on the airwaves. I don't know. At least if you call the airwaves, it may be the frequency. They make it hear the frequency on the show.
And then you remind them about the money that you owed them.
Oh wow. Hey, I'll say this. It may sound weird, but a lot of people believe this. They say there's several phone setups like this. But if I'm gonna just open up the lines, if you could call one relative, dial the old number that, who would it be? And why? Somebody said, Curly Q in the chat says, who are you talking to on the line? They said it's a wind phone. Somebody might say something. I don't know. What if somebody answered? Hey, we got Sean on the lines. Sean, you on the new 1017 The Truth. Tap in.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's up with y'all?
Hey, look, they said that they got the wind phones where if you miss your loved one, you can go and sit there and, it's a concept.
Where is that?
It's in Brookfield, at the Brookfield Cemetery.
Is it for real though, or that shit just?
I think that is something that is a coping. Well, in my opinion, I don't know, because I never picked up a phone to try to do it. Okay, so I ain't gonna say, but I'll say this: I think it's more of people that didn't really explain themselves at the time, and they want to get that last talk. To me, that would be something psychologically that would take place. It's psychological.
Very. Okay. I'm gonna try to see what it's about.
If you could make one phone call to somebody, who would it be? If that one of your loved ones, or a friend?
I mean, it's so many. It's just whoever, just to see if it's real. So I will call whoever to see what feedback I get.
Okay. Well, let me know if you use the phone. Let me know what happened.
Okay.
All right, Sean. We're gonna keep tabs on this. I'll say this, I would definitely call my grandma. Because the one thing I miss about my grandma is when she used to, tell me to pray, and she used to always give me words of encouragement. And, sometimes when now that she's gone, and that's a hard space to fill, somebody that was very important in your life. So I kind of miss her quoting scriptures. She used to always quote scriptures, and she used to always tell me to pray. And that little motivation, that's all I needed. A little bit of, hey, I've been reading my Bible. She was always reading the Bible. She was always quoting scripture. So I miss that. 768-4 says, white people never cease to amaze me or how lost they are. You first, stupid. Oh, wow. It's a lot of people that believe in the afterlife. There's a lot of people that believe in the afterlife and that you can contact people. A lot of y'all be paying for the psychics. A lot of y'all be paying for the people to talk to the people, and I don't know. I never went and paid the psychic to do nothing. A Not Really a City Girl says, that's weird. A wind tunnel? So you basically hear your voice whirling around in some built-in phone sound contraption, wind machine, and someone is supposed to think it's a loved one talking back. I'll say this. When I see people grieve, everybody grieves different. Everybody has a different way of grieving, and you basically can't tell them how to grieve. I don't even practice telling people how to grieve. You know what I mean? Because you don't know the connection. But maybe this is one of the things, this wind phone. All I'm saying is, what if it worked, DJ Brother Z?
And I don't know. That's scary.
What if? Hey. Well, I'm gonna switch subjects because I'm gonna tell you this. If I could call my grandma, I would tell y'all a story that what happened when I called my grandma and I just wanted to hear her voice. And I was out at one of the protests. And how they detain you, and then you get the one call. I know my grandma thought it was weird because when I called her, that you go, the jail person be like, this is Tory Lowe calling from the correctional facility, and all of a sudden grandma answered the phone. She had to dial a number, and I just had a regular conversation with her because I know I was gonna get out. Sometimes they can hold you for a couple days, but I knew I was gonna get out, and so I just wanted to hear my grandma talk. That's it. Also, I need the recipe to them tea cakes. If my grandma. My grandma used to make tea cakes. If anybody out there in Truth Nation know how to make tea cakes, let me know. If you got a good tea cake recipe, you got to be old school. I think making tea cakes is a lost art. But back down in Mississippi, when they wanted something sweet, like if they couldn't do cookies, I think that they got this off the sharecropping. A lot of sharecroppers used to make the tea cakes because they wanted something sweet. It's like a sweet biscuit. But if you know how to make tea cakes, hit me up in the chat. I want the recipe. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
On April 1st, we have a choice to make. Donald Trump wants us to elect Brad Schimmel to the Supreme Court. Elon Musk's even spending millions to elect him because they know Schimmel will do whatever they want, even if that means letting them cut health care and food for hungry kids or eliminate the Department of Education. That's why we need to vote for Judge Susan Crawford.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I've made sure rapists, murderers, and child predators were behind bars where they belong. And I trust women to make their own healthcare decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will. And that's why I'm asking for your vote.
That's Judge Susan Crawford, protecting our rights, our families, and our community. So on April 1st, help keep Trump and Musk in check. Go to the polls and vote for Judge Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Make the right choice. Vote Susan Crawford on April 1st. Paid for by Susan Crawford for Wisconsin.
Finding stable housing shouldn't be a struggle. The Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center connects renters, property owners, and partners to the resources they need, whether it's rental assistance, legal aid, mediation, or tenant education. No matter what your situation is, you do not have to go at it alone. Get assistance today by visiting renthelpmke.org. That is renthelpmke.org, or stop by their office at 728 North James Level Street in Milwaukee. At the Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center, they are here for all your housing needs.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cass Bowers, Executive Director of All in Wisconsin. Did you know that there's an election coming up on April 1st? I encourage you to get out and vote. For democracy to work for all of us, it must include all of us. Vote to protect our rights and freedoms. I also urge you to vote no on the voter ID amendment on the ballot. Safe elections mean that no one is left out of the process, and we don't need more barriers to voting. Make your voices heard. Visit allinwi.org for more information.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You know I brought 4 in. Too many here, I might have to bring some more in. That you can tell
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. Now, we've been talking about that death investigation at the Milwaukee Mall. They saying foul play is not suspected. This is what they're saying. Foul play is not suspected. Milwaukee police are investigating a death that occurred Tuesday, March 25th. Police say it's a 65-year-old was found dead inside of the mall. The cause of death is under investigation. Foul play is not suspected. That's why I say I was looking for some elders in the area, one in particular, and I traced him. We traced him where he last got off the bus at 35th, going down toward 35th and Burlock, the bus was heading that direction down, I think, Fond du Lac. So I don't know. I just hope, and like I said, I don't know if that's the one. I contacted his daughter to try to have her look into it, and the other one that we was looking for, trying to have the family look into it and see, because it was like he just vanished, DJ Brother Z, and he wasn't in the best condition. So I don't know. I guess I'll wait for more information. But I did ask a question. Because the Milwaukee Mall was supposed to be redid. It was supposed to be a development. And we found the article. Salute to Elizabeth Brown for sending the article. Milwaukee Mall's redevelopment moves forward with an additional $5 million committee approval. So it's a lot of money that I seen that was going out to renovate it. They said in the article, this was back in September 17th, 2019. They said a historic building on Milwaukee's north side is one step closer to receiving a $34 million renovation. $34 million renovation. So this was back in September of 2019, this article we finna play. And so if nothing happened, what happened to the money? Did they give it back? Let's listen to this article. Let's as we
one step closer
live.
to receiving a $34 million makeover.
City leaders approved a proposal that would give new life to the area around Fond du Lac and North. Tony Atkins has details on what could be in store. It's new, live at 5.
Some people know this as the old Sears building. Others know it as the old Milwaukee Mall. But now a new developer is coming in with a plan to revitalize not only this building, but the entire area. It's been decades since Sears closed its doors here on Fond du Lac Avenue.
The old Sears building was here. It was a lot of people used to come around and shop there.
Since then, not much has changed on the outside, but these pictures on the inside tell a much different story.
It's went through all of our Wisconsin winters, and it needs attention.
Developer Kalen Haywood plans to convert the building into the Icon, a $34 million hotel, convention, and restaurant project.
Do we have any objections, any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, so order. Congratulations.
A city zoning committee approved $5 million in TIF money for the project on Tuesday, but not before a passionate debate.
This is an incredibly high-risk venture, and it is highly likely the city will end up holding the bag.
But I also want to make sure you show your same concern and consistency when the streetcar comes before us.
Is generating new tax base. He wanted a response to this. I mean,
I'm trying to get to the point that this same effect is
Excuse me, committee members.
If the project goes through, work on the building could begin before the end of the year.
What some people see as risk is what others see as it's about time.
I'm delighted that we are taking this investment versus risk into the central city. It is about time.
Okay, well, what
And
happened?
now this project heads into the hands of the full council. Developers here believe that they will get the support they need to get all of this off the ground. Reporting along.
All right. Okay, the money was given. Now dead bodies up in the building. It's back in 2019. I ain't seen not one hammer and nail. I ain't seen not one sheetrock. Hey, White Widow, you on the new 101.7 The Truth. Tap in.
One of my favorite people. Anyways, this thing about calling 1-800-TALK to the Dead, you know, it's Brookfield, and, you know, people are going to knock on me, but it never ceases to amaze me how lost white people are. I can't fathom, you know, it's just weird to me, but as far as I'm concerned, you go first and get back to me on how it works, you know what I mean?
Oh, right. Hey, they say their phone been there.
Right.
They say they got them all over the place now. They say that, you know, it's other places.
White
they got
people,
these,
what can I say?
Oh,
White
wow.
people, white people, white people. What else can I say? Back it up.
Bruh.
Black people aren't that stupid or gullible. I mean, come on. That's disrespecting the dead.
Oh, wow.
Really, that's disrespecting your loved ones, thinking 1-800, call me up. Really, please.
Oh, wow.
Just stop it. But you guys first, and get back to me and tell me how it works.
Oh,
I got to go. I love you.
Thank you for calling in. Hey, love you. Hey, somebody say, please be careful with connecting with demons over the phone. They will tell you that they are your family members. That you will talk. Oh, they'll tell you that they're your family members that you will talk to, but you are actually speaking to demons. It is opening the door to witchcraft. The Bible says the living has no connection with the dead. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verses 5 and 6. 9482 chimes in and says, I'd rather call Ray J and have one wish than to call a so-called relative. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. 7435 says, my mother passed away in 2018. 2 years later, my phone rang, and the caller ID said, Mom. I froze dead in my tracks. I didn't answer, so it hung up. It rang again, but this time I answered and said, Ma. It was my stepfather. He didn't have my number, so he called me from the old phone. He almost got crashed out. Hey, we got Brother Love on the lines. Brother Love, you on the new 101.7 The Truth. Tap in.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Tory Lowe?
Hey, how you doing, Brother Love?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. I like when you talk about your elegant and beautiful and wonderful grandmama, man. God bless her. God bless her soul, man. You make me remember my grandmama. And did you ever have this experience? Every time my grandmama, she'll look at me and just start crying, and I start crying. Just for no reason, I cried just with her, man, because of the love she had for me.
Right.
And yes, and God bless your grandmama, yes. And I want to say, Tory Lowe, about the one in Northridge too, man. I see a fence around it.
You talk about at the Milwaukee Mall.
Yes, and if you give me your thoughts on that edifice, I'll hang up and listen. And God bless, brother.
Hey, I was just trying to figure out how is it sitting vacated when money was sent to try to fix it up. Hey. All right. Well, it is what it ain't, as usual. Not really a city girl in the chat says it'll be an employee in a different room talking back on the other end of the phone. Curly Q says loved ones into the dang wind tunnel, and it ain't gonna be free either, I'm guessing. Hey, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, a lot of people, when they get distraught, they go through a lot of psychological ideas to try to cope. A lot of y'all got loved ones that y'all want to apologize to, that left, that y'all wanted to apologize to, but y'all didn't say nothing. And y'all didn't, you probably, had a nasty conversation, and then you looked up and something happened, and you didn't have a chance to really reset the relationship. So maybe you can pick up the wind phone, I guess. I don't know. Hey, it could get tricky, DJ Brother Z. It could get tricky. I'll say this. I don't practice nothing like that. I mean, they used to it's a lot of ways. They used to call the psychic and the Ouija back in the day. They used to do that. We got Al on the lines. Al, you on the new 101.7 The Truth. Tap in.
Well, first of all, if I ain't did nothing wrong to a loved one, I'm not apologizing. May their spirit and their soul rot. If they ain't no good, they ain't no good. And you better hope I don't come to the cemetery and vomit on your headstone and urinate on your grave.
No.
Okay? And if you go down to hell, I hope the devil kick you out. Because some of them ain't no good. And if they're in a place where they need to be, don't call my phone, because I don't want to hear from you any damn way. Because you're in there for a reason. And that's just how I feel. Because, see, you have some people and family, I call them convenient bag niggas.
Oh, wow.
And it's only about their convenience. And when everything goes from sugar to sugar, honey, iced tea, now they want to call your phone. No, don't call my phone, nothing. Hold your breath and rock. And maybe Jesus can talk to you. And if you want to, you can write right along with him. Don't call my phone. Have a good day.
Oh, wow. So I guess he not using the wind phone. Hey, we're going to take one more call. Kathy, you're on the new 101.7 The Truth. Tap in.
You know, between you and White Widow, y'all give me a laugh all the time. That was a good one. That was a good one. But listen, I know what happened to the Sears building, okay?
Okay.
The Sears building, they're talking about making that a hotel because they thought that area may not work out. Not a hotel, but apartment buildings, affordable apartment buildings. So I think that's what they're doing. But we need to bring Haven on the line or the Alderman in that area and see what the update is on that for us to update and the money goes. But I believe they're going to do an apartment instead of the hotel entertainment. I think they said that would be more resourceful because the area is really not developed yet to have a hotel there, and there may be more crime. But now getting to the spirit thing, if you want to hear a loved one, I'm going to tell you something. I was cleaning my house a few weeks ago. I found an old answer machine, and guess whose voice was on it? A few people who have passed away,
oh, wow.
including my mom. So if you want to listen to the voicemail, go look at the old recordings you had, or an old phone, but the old recordings you had almost before cell phones. But there's recordings left on there, and you can listen to those right on there. That's your spirit, but I don't believe in all that stuff. But like White Widow said, people will do anything on a dime. So if I can get somebody to bring the spirit back and charge them, I'm on with it, okay? Because there's nobody coming back, okay? If you need some help, you need to go see somebody professional. But you guys, this really got me on that Brookfield one. That is just a good one for the end of the day. That's just a good one. I mean, I couldn't believe that.
Hey.
It's like Elvis Presley. You know, he never died, right?
Oh, wow.
He never died. They celebrate him every year.
I saw him down there. I saw him down in Vegas.
Yeah, have a nice day.
All right, Kathy. Abstract in the chat says, in a alternative universe of thinking, you call a deceased loved one and you might open a portal or be forced to do some things that will land you in the nut house.
Bruh.
KDS Stewart says, man, I had to find my way to the chat once you started talking about tea cakes. If that phone call to the dead worked, that would be my question to my mom and grandma too. Please share the recipe. Them tea cakes was powerful. I think Liz tried to make me. I told Liz about the tea cakes, and she came up with her tea cakes. You know, Liz, you know, the one thing I like about Liz is if she know how to cook. So she went and got a recipe from her family and then brought the tea cakes in. So we tasted her version of the tea cakes. But I'm going to tell you this. I missed that. It wasn't all fancy. We didn't have to go to no 5-star restaurant. On a Saturday evening, Grandma would make them tea cakes. And the whole house would just smell sweet. And we just would sit around and watch wrestling. Because that back then, wrestling came on a Saturday night main event. And then we would eat the tea cakes, and that would be the snack. And and since she made it from scratch, you had plenty of it. Maurice M. says, after the Poltergeist movie, I'm good. I barely use the phone to call the living anyway, and I pay the bill every month. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll be joined on the lines by advocate and author Elizabeth Brown. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump are out of control, slashing healthcare and food for hungry kids, eliminating the Department of Education. Now, Musk and Trump are trying to buy a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, spending millions to elect extremist Brad Schimmel. And if elected, Schimmel wants to criminalize abortion, even in cases of rape and incest. Brad Schimmel, an extreme rubber stamp for Musk and Trump, and wrong for Wisconsin. We need justices who are fair, who know right from wrong. Judge Susan Crawford has spent her life standing up for Wisconsin and keeping us safe. She'll always protect our right to choose, and Crawford will be the check and balance we need against Elon Musk and Donald Trump. On April 1st, vote Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Go to www.iwillvote.com to find out where and how to cast your vote by April 1st. Paid for by Power to the Polls Action Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Women's History Month. Listen to one of our incredible Truth teammates highlight the remarkable achievements of Black women throughout history.
What's going on, Truth Nation? It is DT. For Women's History Month, I want to highlight the queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, including the incredible impact she has made throughout her life. Born in Tennessee, Tina Turner began her musical career with her future husband, Ike Turner's band, the Kings of Rhythm, in 1956. She was born as Anna Mae Bullock and went on to record as part of the group Ike Turner's band hits like A Fool in Love. The Ike and Tina Turner Revue became one of the most formidable live acts in history. In the 1980s, Tina Turner launched one of the greatest comebacks in music history. Her 1984 multi-platinum album, Private Dancer, contained the hit What's Love Got to Do With It, which won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year and became her first #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100. Tina Turner has sold more than 100 million records worldwide, becoming one of the best artists of all time. She is a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award winner, as also ranked as the 100 greatest artists of all time by Rolling Stone magazine. In January of 1988, Tina Turner set a Guinness World Record for the largest paying concert attendance for a solo artist by performing in front of approximately 188,000 people at Maracana Stadium in Rio de Janeiro. Tina, thank you for reminding women all over the world that life, success has no expiration date. Don't quit, navigate through the adversity, and life will reward you back. Tina Turner, we salute you and we thank you.
Tune in to The Truth as we celebrate the greatness of Black women all month long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. As BET's co-founder, Sheila Johnson has a ton of experience in media, but a lot's changed since she first got the Black-focused entertainment cable network off the ground. Johnson spoke to Bloomberg about the state of media and what Black audiences might be seeking out now.
I just think that the landscape and the racial landscape of what African Americans are watching is changing. And I just think that we have got such a broad perspective of people out there that want something different, especially this younger generation. So we need to reevaluate what are the goals of Black media and what are the answers? What is it out there that we need to answer?
According to Nielsen, just over 50% of Black viewers feel there isn't enough content on TV from people of their identity group. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneid. The Milwaukee Bucks will wrap up their 5-game West Coast road trip tonight in Denver as they get set to take on the Nuggets. Bucks guard Damian Lillard has officially been ruled out indefinitely after the health team discovered a deep vein thrombosis in his right calf. Tip-off tonight is scheduled for 8 p.m. Over to baseball, where spring training is all wrapped up for the Milwaukee Brewers. The next focus, the regular season, as they are in New York as they prepare to take on the Yankees in tomorrow's season opener. And lastly, some NFL news. The New York Giants and quarterback Russell Wilson have agreed on a one-year, $21 million deal, and the New England Patriots also agreeing with wide receiver Stephon Diggs to a 3-year, $69 million deal as well. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app at 1017thetruth.com.
Nick, you're stupid.
Yeah, they tryna ride the wave like it's jet ski. 100 is on my line tryna suit me. Yeah, my pockets getting full, getting hefty. Count with both hands, they ask if I'm a lefty. I'm tryna fuck her tonight, supermodel. I'm tryna get lit.
Truth Nation, the Global Office's The Analysis Live is back. Takes place this Saturday, March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours at taliveshow.com. Join Thanasis Antetokounmpo for a live show with special guests Brandon Jennings, Brooke Lopez, Kyle Kuzma, and more. And a surprise guest will be joining Thanasis Live. There will also be free food and drinks and a great time. Visit taliveshow.com to get your tickets now. But the Analysis Live this Saturday at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. That is taliveshow.com to get your tickets to the Analysis Live. Joining me on the lines is advocate author Elizabeth Brown. How you doing, Queen?
Salute, King. All is well.
Hey, we had a lot going on the show today, but a lot of people was chiming in about this Brookfield telephone, the wind phone, to talk to the, people living in the afterlife.
Hey, they better be careful. We already know, like, anything that got to do with the wind, and we know that this government in totality understands energy. And when you're talking about talking to the wind and the vibration that we carry, what we feel, we usually create. So you definitely want to be real careful about what you thinking you putting out in the atmosphere or to the heavens. I just know for me, myself, when I'm talking, I am my ancestors. So when I had that conversation with myself, I'm having it with them. And DNA-wise, whatever I need usually come to me. I don't need the little wind phone that you don't know where or who you talking to or if it's being recorded, because they just letting you know now that, you know what I'm saying, Alexa is recording everything, and now they removing certain things, and everything that was being recorded now it's their property for them to do whatever they want to do with it. Again, it's very suspicious, and I wouldn't, they'll never get me talking into whatever it is.
People, when they grieving, they make it get some information.
Well, I would just tell them to, again, meditate, go to the lake and speak to your loved ones, put it in the air versus putting on some air phone or something like that. Because again, if you didn't make it, you don't know what's happening. You don't know where it's going. Again, we've been lied to so much that I wouldn't even trust it. The reality of it is, you have to come to terms with, in this life, we're guaranteed two things, and that's life and death. And the reality is, if you do it right, everybody want to go to heaven, don't nobody want to die. But the reality of what heaven is that sense of peace, that you came here to do what you were supposed to do, and you move on. And however it is after this life, like I said, for me, I am my loved one. So when I want to have that conversation with my father, who I miss dearly, I truly believe that there's other things that, I'm given signs, whether it be a hawk, butterflies, different colors, like everything means some angel numbers. I even do that before I pick up somebody's wind phone and speak into it, especially in the times of AI where they can steal your voice and call your loved ones and request $1,000. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Like, you have to be real careful. It's suspicious.
Hey, they say,
and I wouldn't advise it.
Hey, they say, it could be where somebody can actually know that you're about to use the phone, and hey, and if you got some money, you might not have no money for long.
Hey,
I don't know.
But not only that, like just a person being able to use your voice. We just had an incident where, they was calling people loved ones and saying they was in jail or they had been kidnapped. you know,
Right.
and they use
And they needed money.
and they like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like this ain't the era to do that, especially with AI and everything else. You don't want to give these people, you know, because now we finding out that the DNA test and what they was doing with that,
Right.
like you just have to be real careful.
They saying that they took all the DNA, then they sold the company. Now a third party might have your information.
It's up in the air. And the sad part about that, if people really want you, they got a swab with your DNA, they can create something because they know the weaknesses that's in your DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, yeah, I'll pass. But for anybody that want to do it, you know, I say prayers up. I just say proceed with caution. And at the end of the day, I would just advise for you to meditate, you know what I'm saying, and get in tune with yourself, because a lot of times, like I said, your ancestors is with you. It's in your DNA. That's your bloodline. That's your lineage.
Today we was talking about self-care at the beginning of the show, and I was trying to stress the word emotional intelligence, you know, and, you know, how that plays in and factors into having self-care ideas, you know, for yourself to be able to manage not only your emotions but other emotions and come up with the right outcome to approach situations. And I think that you got to use your common sense on this.
Or not even use your seven senses. You know, that's your ability to be able to, you know, tap in. And the reality of that is, you know, a lot of times we've been programmed to go against, you know, that gut feeling, to go against. And then you have to make sure, too, because for a long time, I thought my first voice was my second voice, and my second voice was really my first voice. You know, my crash out would be the first voice, like, man, Liz, you ain't got to take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, show them something, you know? And I realized that the one that was speaking the calmness actually was the second and not the first. And then I had to, again, the goal is to get to know yourself so you know your own triggers.
Right.
And the reality of it is understanding that you yourself are a superpower. And when you go to take an accountability for yourself and your actions, you no longer allow somebody to contradict or control how you feel and the emotions that you have in whatever moment it is. Because the majority of the time when you take accountability for you, you able to see the BS in somebody else. You see that they overly emotional and they trying to trigger you to crash out, and only because you have more to lose than they do, you know. And so you learn how to, you know, curve that behavior and auto check and see this person for who they is and they emotional disability. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the ability to be emotionally stable. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people running around here with the emotional disability, you know, want to be something that they ain't, or because, again, in our community, we've always had to act, speak, and walk like somebody else just to be liked or just to have a job, or, you know what I'm saying? So we dealing with a lot of trauma. So the reality is, at some point, you have to really find out who you are to you versus who you are to the world versus how you show up to the world, your loved ones, your children. When you bring it back down to the minute level of who you are to you, then everything else will start to make sense, and you'll be able to see the emotional disabilities in everybody else so you don't get caught up in their seaweed.
And we got the poll in the chat. Would you use the phone to call your relative, your dead relative? What is the statistics on the poll, DJ Brother Z?
25% of people would use the phone any chance that they could, and 75% of people said, "No, this is creepy."
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. It's suspicious. I'm definitely not going to do it. Like, I love my daddy to death, but I also understand that his purpose on this planet was done, and he's allowed his rest. May he rest in power. But at the same time, I also know that the trickery and the foolery that's going on this planet at this particular time, I'm going to have to say Hell no, I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather do what DJ Brother Z said, tie a note to a balloon and send it up in the air and may it land on somebody that needed encouragement or, something like that. But no, not no airphone, knowing
Also,
how energy work and all of that.
Well, also, there was a situation at the Milwaukee Mall. Body was found at the Milwaukee Mall. They said he was 65 years old. They're not suspecting foul play with it. But I was just kind of jolted because I thought that was supposed to be renovated. Back in 2019, they were supposed to start the renovations, and millions of dollars was being discussed, but it still looked the same.
The millions of dollars got. Matter of fact, there was three other tries that came up after Hayward received the monies for him to repay the $3-point-something million. Don't quote me on the numbers, but and then that went off the grid. You know what I'm saying? Again, mismanagement of funds, and that's another reality in our community on how money is being distributed to certain entities and certain individuals, because during that time, remember, it was a big thing with Hayward and, a young lady, something, what I'm saying, ungodly took place, and that money, he received that money, and then there were stories out about JS Online, and again, they didn't scrub Google. You can't get it on Google. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I had to DuckDuckGo it to even pull it up. You know what I'm saying? So, again, Google can't be trusted either. But the reality of that is it's crickets. Where did that money go? Did Hayward ever pay that money back? You know what I'm saying? Because the last article that I read, he came up, he requested a third time to come back to start making those payments because the payments were never made. So I don't know if he repaid that money back or what took place. The oncoming council, ain't nobody said nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And again,
and now's the dead body in the building.
That part.
Hey, look, when we come back, I want to get your final thoughts. Elizabeth Brown, Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is back. And you can hear our beloved Brewers home opener right here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Second homer of the night from Jackson Churio.
On Monday, March 31st, hear the Brewers take on the Kansas City Royals with coverage beginning at 12:35 p.m., leading up to first pitch at 1:10 p.m. So don't miss the Brewers home opener Monday, March 31st, right here on 101.7 The Truth.
On April 1st, we have a choice to make. Donald Trump wants us to elect Brad Schimmel to the Supreme Court. Elon Musk's even spending millions to elect him because they know Schimmel will do whatever they want, even if that means letting them cut health care and food for hungry kids or eliminate the Department of Education. That's why we need to vote for Judge Susan Crawford.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I've made sure rapists, murderers, and child predators were behind bars where they belong. And I trust women to make their own healthcare decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will. And that's why I'm asking for your vote.
That's Judge Susan Crawford, protecting our rights, our families, and our community. So on April 1st, help keep Trump and Musk in check. Go to the polls and vote for Judge Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Make the right choice. Vote Susan Crawford on April 1st. Paid for by Susan Crawford for Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cass Bowers, Executive Director of All in Wisconsin. Did you know that there's an election coming up on April 1st? I encourage you to get out and vote. For democracy to work for all of us, it must include all of us. Vote to protect our rights and freedoms. I also urge you to vote no on the voter ID amendment on the ballot. Safe elections mean that no one is left out of the process, and we don't need more barriers to voting. Make your voices heard. Visit allinwi.org for more information.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
It's the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I turn shorty up, sipping on that 1942. I got my 42. Oh, you got your 42. I got 40 of them. I rock Cardi's, you can't see my eyes because I be pouring up.
Calling all black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? We have teamed up with Associated Bank for our black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. To sign up your business for your business spotlight interviews, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure right here on The Truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. Elizabeth Brown, let me get your final thoughts on the show today.
I mean, again, powerful. Salute to the brother that came in, Mr. Locke, on his pursuit for justice. Again, like you stated, you know, it's him today, it's one of us tomorrow, and it's time for us to get on top of that to make sure, you know, that we no longer stand by and be silent, because our silence is compliance. As far as, you know, what's going on at the Apollo, salute, go out and support our youth and, you know, local business, and get ready for the cleanup. Today, powerful show. Salute to you for everything that you do. And like I said, Truth Nation is one day at a time, and ain't no better day than the present to make tomorrow look better. Start today.
Hey, look, we got a lot of work to do, Elizabeth Brown. April 12th, go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to join us. Hopefully that alderman that made them statements join us on April 12th as well.
Absolutely. It's only right. He's saying about that action. Let's see.
Hey. Well, look, I appreciate you for being on the front lines as usual, and we got a lot of work to do, Elizabeth.
Hey, as well. Let's get it, King. I'm with it.
All right. All right, DJ Brother Z.
All right, Queen. All right, Tory, love for waterfall. Green don't always mean go. Let's get it.
Hey, look, join me tomorrow for another powerful conversation. Keep your head on a swivel. Green don't always mean go. And look both ways before you cross the streets. I love you. Dr. Ken Harris up next.